Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. One of my personal favorites is Stephen King's It, which they're making into a movie. Again.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck you talking about, atheist?
It's okay.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be liked.
You're garbage, TJ.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast. I'm Ben.
And I am QJ.
Thank you for joining us.
I am CJ.
We're going to DP the fuck out of the news.
And your mom.
Oh, your mom?
Yeah, we just happen to have everyone's mothers here.
No, just that one person's mom. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a dick.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Your mom is gonna. Well, I guess there's three of us, so she's gonna get TP'd, but not
TP'd.
toilet paper. You know what I'm really saying?
I thought you were impotent, TJ. You told me you're just gonna watch. The
Oh, that's
fuck,
true.
man.
Yeah, I forgot.
Come
about,
on, TJ.
I forgot about my crippling impotence.
Keep it real, man.
Is it crippling?
Yeah, it's crippling.
Like, you're so impotent that you can't even walk?
Yeah.
Nope.
I have to. I'm all gimpy. That's how far my impotence extends. All the way down my legs.
From your genitalia down to your feet.
Yep. The most severe case of impotence in human history.
TJ seriously is pretty lazy. Like if he drops something, like he doesn't even want to bend it. It's like, you grit that for me. It's like, TJ, you can fucking bend down and pick it up. It's like, bro, I'm tall.
What?
Yeah, he literally
he's tall?
does. It's like, yeah, that's his excuse. I'm tall.
You don't have to reach as far as I do.
That's true.
I'm just like,
That's just logic. You are closer to the ground.
I mean, I guess I am closer to the ground, but
it's like
you're still lazy.
if something's on the countertop, who gets it? The person who's closer to it. If something's on the ground, you're always
yeah,
closer.
but you're the one that dropped it, not me.
Well, dropping is an incident that occurs in life, and who can really be blamed for such things?
You.
No.
You're blamed for it, dude.
I do not take responsibility for my own actions.
Whether you take responsibility or not is irrelevant. You're still the one that's causing the action to occur.
No, because that's the definition of responsibility.
Good evening, folks. This is a little ditty I wrote about finding my soulmate, my quest to finding my soulmate.
Wonderful.
Looking for my soulmate, I decided to try the religion circuit. If I have to visit every church, synagogue, temple, and mosque in this whole city, I intend to do just that. As I want to unite with my soulmate, where is she? Which religion has the hottest chicks? Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, Seventh-day Adventist.
I don't think the hottest chicks are the ones you should be going for.
Man, this dude is just really pathetic. Like, just truly, like, I mean, like, it's hard to genuinely say, like, man, this guy is pathetic, but this guy is really pathetic. I'm sorry. I actually feel bad for him. I mean, he's on YouTube making this video, which is like, it's so terrible, and he I don't even know.
Pentecostals, Catholics, pagan, Buddhist, Unitarian, Quaker, which sect, which denomination, in which religious building resides my soulmate. Baby, I'm determined to find you.
This dude
So
has to be a
basically,
troll. This dude has to be a troll.
You know, he's basically saying that he's going to treat the religious institutions of whatever city he lives in as his own personal dating service.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's singing a song kind of about it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you wrote this as like a character in a book, people would be like, man, they made this character a little too fucking out there and crazy. But because this guy actually exists, it's like, what is this? What do you do with your spare time, Jimmy? Oh, I sing off-key, terribly written songs.
Not even
on
written.
YouTube. Well, this one is written.
It sounds like he's just pulling it out
does.
of his ass.
It's as bad when it's written as when he just makes it up on the spot.
Same
But
line.
he's like, I sing songs about how great religion is. Well, what religion? All of them, just not atheism.
Well, this song's about which religion has the hottest chicks.
Right, and then this is a song about, I'm gonna find my soulmate. Which religion has the hottest girls? It's like,
You know what it reminds me of?
I'd love to see, you know what, just as like a fucking joke, I hope some like fucking world famous producer like sees these videos and is like, you know what, I'm just gonna like put all of my production skill into making songs where this guy is the lyricist, because that would be the only way that this could get elevated to another level, is if like Kanye West was producing it or some shit and there was all this like fucking weird beats
Dude,
and shit in
you
the
know what this dude
background.
belongs? He belongs like you know American Idol, that horrible show where, like, I'm sure you know of it, but I'm just saying, but like, do you know they have like the thing where it's like the intentionally bad people?
Yeah, when they like push a bad person through just to embarrass them.
Yeah, this guy should be on there.
Babes,
I think he should sing one of his own
my
songs.
world.
He should sing the Why Be an
Searching
Atheist
for my
songs.
hot soulmate.
It'd be better if
I'm
Simon
gaining
Cowell was still on that
enlightenment
show, though.
along the way. I'm even thinking we should have beauty pageants with representatives from every religion and every sect thereof.
Oh my god.
Why would they do that? Why would they have?
Yeah, I'm
religious
sure the
beauty
Muslims
pageants?
would be jumping right on board for that too.
I don't know.
This guy has to be a troll.
No, he's not. I think
Nah.
he's just kind of out there, if you know what I mean. So that's why I don't say anything. That's why I don't say anything about him personally. I just laugh at his weird songs. You know what I mean?
I don't know, Ben. I think he might be a troll.
This guy is not a troll.
I think he's a troll.
No, dude, this is. You can
This
just.
guy is a troll. No, you want to know why I'm saying he's a troll? Because it's like Ben with G-Man. No, G-Man is a troll.
I really do think G-Man
He's not
is
a troll. He's not
I don't
a troll.
know. G-Man's not a
He's
troll.
not a
either.
troll. That's what that's what I'm doing with this guy. This guy is not a troll.
This guy is weirder
no,
than G-Man.
this guy is not a troll.
This guy's weirder than G-Man.
That's your opinion.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think he's a
I
troll.
think that we could probably sit this guy down and he would agree to the existence of starving children.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken.
But that's the thing where G-Man knows that there's
Can you show me a starving
He just doesn't
child,
want to
TJ?
admit that he's wrong about anything.
Can you
Yeah,
show me a
G-Man will
starving
get stubborn to the point where he won't concede even the most obvious point in the world that everyone already agrees on. Like, so G-Man, you agree we all breathe in air, right? No, man, you can't see that. I ain't never seen no air. It's like,
But let me answer your question with a question.
That's the best one, is when he just turns it around like, well, can you show me? Can you
and
show me?
he's got his little script, like a little telemarketer, with all these, like, with this series of questions, like, no matter what they say, proceed somehow to next question, even if it doesn't make any sense anymore within the context of the argument.
Well, then he also tries to hold everything to this these very rigid definitions, so he's right. He's like, I'm still correct because I'm holding it to this definition. It's like, well, that's just one definition. And, like, he's guilty of changing the definition as it goes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he'll say the definition is this, then when he's proven wrong, he'll say, okay, it's this. It's like, dude, you're just full of shit. Just stop.
All right.
I would like to see G-Man in a battle rap against this guy, though.
Who?
This guy on the screen.
Oh, this guy? Oh.
Who the fuck is this guy anyway? People are always asking me who the hell this is.
Yeah, who is he?
Isn't that funny? Like a lot of people want to know who it is.
I think people want to do their own investigating to decide whether or not he's a troll, so they can like watch all of his videos and try to like glean some hint that he's just being sarcastic, so that they can have faith in humanity on some level.
I don't think he is a troll, honestly.
Troll.
What's his
Troll.
Hold on, I'm looking up his channel right now. His channel is called Free Press Media.
What?
Look.
Makes no sense. Makes no fucking sense.
Free press me. It sounds like it would be like a libertarian news rag or something.
Yeah,
Maybe he is.
Yeah,
but no. But it's just a guy that sings. I don't even like to use the word sings.
Yeah, he doesn't really sing. He just like kind of talks.
Other than the "Why Be an Atheist" song, nothing has had a tune or melody.
Why be an atheist? Why be an atheist?
Yeah, there's a lot of those like poorly animated videos, you know, like with the robotic voices.
Oh, let's see one of those.
Oh. What? Are you lying? He has that?
Yeah.
Let's see one.
No,
I want to see what he's
we gotta put one on.
You want to fuck with these right now?
Yeah, just put it on the screen. It's a follow-up to this story.
This one's really
the Drunken
short.
Peasants delve deep.
It's short anyway, so let's play it.
They're like a matter of seconds long.
Well, let's just fucking see what it is and what it says and what his statement here is. We're exploring the psyche of our friend here.
Break paths, blaze trails, build, create, invent, found, cutting edge, edifying new ideas.
So, mindless drivel.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Edify new ideas.
When the mainstream
new
news
ideas
gives you no clues, switch to a different perspective. The alternative media.
Okay. A very brief and pointless message from the guy who sings random songs in his fucking kitchen.
Don't be an atheist. Let's move on, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
Let's play that video about the guy who smokes weed for the first time.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
And freaks out.
He's fucking frozen, bro.
What?
Dude, he's frozen.
Bro.
Fucking frozen, bro.
Yeah. And you can see the guy. He's totally frozen, staring into nothingness.
It's like Nietzsche said.
He does
be careful when you stare into the abyss, because the abyss stares back into you.
He does stay perfectly still for about a minute here.
He's undergoing a temporal distortion. It's like, oh shit, he's stuck in time.
This is 30 seconds.
Temporal.
What?
That's true.
His friends are just talking shit.
He's not moving or reacting. He's just like, here I am.
Wow.
It's like scanners.
Don't move. Seth, you go touch him. Awesome. Can you please stop doing this? Yo, slap him. Let's see if that works.
Slap.
How many times you can slap him, Seth?
Get him water. Should I get him water?
Yeah, he's not moving.
Should I get him water? No, he's not moving.
He's like,
I don't think he's gonna drink it.
Throw the big gulp on him. That big ass.
Splash him.
Yeah.
holy shit, bro. He is fucking.
All right, so now they're about to shake him, and here comes the good part.
He's sitting so still here that like I was having difficulty telling if the camera was, was even still rolling or if it was just like a still frame or if something was wrong with the computer. And his elbows aren't even resting on anything; they're just like hanging there.
Okay, here he goes. Here he goes.
Paralyzed. I was paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. I swear to God. I swear to God. I was just paralyzed. This is not good. This is not good. Seriously. I call the ambulance. I was just paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. Seriously. No, I can't. I can't. Freak out. No, I didn't understand.
God is my savior. God is my savior.
Yeah. It's almost like that.
It is. I was just paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. I was just paralyzed. Like if you say it more times, it becomes more important in people's minds.
Weed is not bad for you. It has not killed anybody ever.
Please, I was just stuck in time. I swear to God,
I was just stuck in time.
This is really not good. This is really not good. Please, I was just stuck in time, guys. I'm gonna explode.
Stuck in time.
No, please. No, stop, please.
I believe him.
No,
TJ.
stop. I was.
See, I told you, temporal distortions.
Temporal distortions, man.
He was fucking he
stuck in time.
He was stuck in time. Everyone around him was moving. He was just like he couldn't fucking do anything about it.
I'm paralyzed. You know what that means? No, you know that space? I know this is not good.
I know what it means.
No, this is not good.
God,
Please,
this guy is
trust me.
fucking
Trust me.
tripping balls. Like seriously, he is. God, he's fucking literally out of it.
Smoked enough weed to kill everyone in this room. Still not dead. You're fine. I swear.
He's like running away from the water. Like
That dude really is fucking tripping, man. He must have never really smoked weed and must have smoked some like really potent shit because he's like, man, like it's very rare to see someone get that out of it.
He was just paralyzed. Okay.
He was stuck in time.
Stuck in a moment in time.
I can't move.
There's not too much to say about that, but that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was worth showing.
Yeah.
People needed to see it, to be informed. Because that's what we do here at the Drunken Peasants. We bring you news about the world, the happenings of the universe.
I feel pretty informed now.
Man paralyzed on pot. Drunken Peasants exclusive story. You heard it here first, unless you heard it somewhere else first.
Here's an interesting Christian analyzing whether or not smoking weed is a sin.
I'm looking at pot and I'm thinking more and more, it's probably not just not wisdom, it's actually a sin. Now I've got to tackle my objections. Here's a big one. Hey, God gave us everything to enjoy. Why not marijuana? Well, the reality is God did not give us everything to enjoy. He gave us everything to use, to have dominion over. I don't partake of zinc.
Yeah, you do.
Zinc oxide? You know, that fucking...
You don't use zinc?
Do you remember that fucking Kentucky Fried movie, like, Life Without Zinc Oxide?
Yeah. But I've heard from people that none of that shit even uses zinc oxide.
No, I'm just saying, like...
But, you know, it's... Yeah.
You clearly need zinc. I'm just saying, that
Right.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah, that's a funny movie. But it's funny you mentioned that, because those guys who directed that went on years later to direct some, like, conservative comedy. With that Michael Moore ripoff, and
Really?
Kelsey Grammer was in it and shit.
Oh, wow.
It was like all the conservative Hollywood guys got together and made like a conservative spoof movie of Michael Moore fucking learning to love America or some shit.
Never heard of it.
Sounds terrible, but I know.
Anyway, that reminded me of this.
So back to this guy.
No.
Aluminum. I don't digest copper. I don't use it for my enjoyment. Why? Because it's bad for me. And the same thing is true with marijuana. Because of the aforementioned 6 points, just because God gave it to us to potentially use, that doesn't mean that I should be doing it. Objection number 2, hey,
doesn't mean you
wine
shouldn't.
gives you a buzz. You said wine in and of itself isn't sinful. Why would pot be sinful if it gives you a buzz too? I think that's a pretty fair objection. However, is it not
it's wrong.
Reasonable to make the claim that drinking a glass of wine is different than smoking a joint? That drinking a glass of wine, I think overall, unless you're one of them there Southern Baptists, we could all agree, okay, wine, a glass of wine, it's not going to get you just blotto wasted, which the Bible clearly forbids. But
does the Bible clearly forbid that?
Probably. The Bible forbids everything at some point. I mean, come on.
And then there's arguments about, like, you know, like, a lot of Leviticus has, like, these laws, you know, that basically, like, obviously, like, Jews and people were supposed to follow. And then,
Jews.
And then then they have things where Jesus is like, discard those laws. And it's like, we have to follow these laws. You know what I mean? The Bible contradicts itself so much. It's like...
Actually, we had Venom Fang X here as a guest. And he explained to us the Bible actually contains no contradictions whatsoever.
Okay, well, there's a word for him. He's called an apologist, and he's a fucking moron.
Smoking a joint? It does. Objection number 3, what if pot were manufactured so that you didn't get stoned or so that it didn't cause addiction? Would it be a problem then? And I would say no, it wouldn't be a problem then. But then it wouldn't be pot.
Well, I mean, he has a point there.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah. So
it wouldn't be pot if it didn't get you stoned.
Okay, this is all very flawed because it's using the Bible and Christianity as its basis for making this determination, which we all know is bullshit. So
right, I mean, the problem here is that, like, the very foundation of the argument is religious in nature, so it requires a leap of faith, and therefore, like, pretty much everything he's saying can just be dismissed on that basis.
it.
Even the
Number
objections
4.
are based on the assumption that you still believe
Justin
in God.
Timberlake. He smokes a joint. Look at how successful he is. He can manage it.
What? Justin Timberlake is one of his objections?
Yeah, I guess.
Perhaps
or
he
no,
can.
one of the objections
but I would
to
like to
him?
suggest to you, we don't know how much more successful Justin might be if he didn't smoke pot now, do we? So I can't use an anecdote of somebody who uses something
God, these are such
sinfully
fallacious
well.
arguments. They're
Why?
terrible.
Because if it contradicts Scripture,
It's
regardless
fallacious arguments
of the
against straw man arguments.
I know, that's what I mean. Well,
Let me pit. You know, the sad thing is, even of these, like, straw man objections that he's drawn up for himself, even against those, he can't win. So he literally can't beat his own straw man that he's setting up to beat.
And he's
that bad.
And he's also assuming he's like, it's okay for Christians to have a glass of wine. It's like, because we know when Christians go out to drink or party, they only have one shot or one glass. Like, can't get wasted, guys. I'm a Christian. You know, give me a fucking break. Said no one fucking ever. Because there's basically two kinds of Christians when it comes to that. It's like, I don't drink at all because I think it's immoral and wrong. And here's some, fucking Bible passage which backs me up. Or it's like, you know what, the Bible shouldn't really say it's bad. I don't really know about that. Let's just drink, like basically just, they don't give a
most
shit.
of them don't even give a shit what the Bible says about that. They're just like, well, we all sinners. Glug, 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 glug.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's like the only ones you meet are just like you said, pretty much like Southern Baptist, really hardcore conservative Christians that don't drink. That's about it.
Result of the participation in said activity, that would be pragmatism, and that's never the way that we determine what is right or wrong.
Did you just say that we never decide what's right and wrong based on pragmatism?
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
Wow, I would not, even if I believed that, I want to think that I would be too ashamed to say it out loud, but...
Don't you think his channel is aptly named?
Yeah, Wretched TV.
Yeah, Wretched. Because this fucking channel is fucking wretched. His fucking website.
Wretched.
Richard.
It is fucking wretched.
All right. Pat Robertson again.
This is Adriana, who says, my husband is really into computer games, and lately he's been playing this game called Archage. I tried playing the game before, but I stopped because I didn't like that there's a lot of witchcraft, spells, wizard stuff, and praying to these figures in the game. I felt it wasn't right. My husband says I'm just overreacting, that it's just a game. It's not like he's actually doing all that stuff. So I want to know, is it okay as a Christian to play these kinds of games?
Oh, moral argument, Pat Robertson, please. Give us the answer.
I'm just going to predict his answer right now.
No, it's not.
It's not okay. Those games are like a portal to fucking hell.
But he's gonna quote some scripture, of course, too.
Yeah, he's gonna have he's gonna fucking throw in some Bible verse or story at some point, maybe.
Oh, he definitely will.
And he might. There's a small chance he might fucking segue it into a donation thing.
All right, let's see.
But we'll see.
There was a big thing about Dungeons and Dragons, and people actually got absorbed in that stuff. They took on those roles, and they began doing horrible things, and it was almost like an invitation to demonic possession. So I think playing some of these role games, I don't know which one they told, I don't do it, but I think, should a Christian do it? The answer is probably not.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
There's prediction
shocked.
1.
Dungeons and Dragons, what a dangerous game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm just going to take this back to Dungeons and Dragons because that's the last time I was paying any attention to pop culture, so.
What's going on? There's a game the kids play in their parents' basements.
There used to be this thing called the hula hoop, you see.
I think we shouldn't get ourselves involved in something where we're role-playing a thing having to do with demonic forces.
Oh, well, I don't know if he segued that into a donation afterward. But at some point it came up.
Yes.
Send me money, by the way.
The 700 Club needs you.
And while we're on that note, send us money, by the way.
Yes.
Patreon.com/DP to become one of the supporters of the Drunken Peasants podcast. We guarantee 0% of your money will go to God, Jesus, or the church.
By the way, we didn't get enough pictures for the Draw Scotty contest.
No one cares.
I think it was because it was announced too late in the show. We only got a few good ones. So
Lame.
That's pretty awesome for me.
Yeah. So if you'd like to submit, I think
not
we'll
a popular target for.
I think we'll let it go for another week here.
So explain the contest, Ben.
Go to Facebook, our Facebook page. Send us a private message with a picture of Scotty as the ruler of the universe. Did you see the one of you riding John Cena?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I've not seen any of them, but I guess I will next show.
Yeah. Well, the next show we're supposed to have Vigilant Christian, but I haven't heard from him in a few days. So
who knows?
We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah, we shall see.
What's next?
Okay.
Dead air. There we go.
Peace, love,
Life is
and
not a
happiness, and all
garden,
that
so
good
stop
shit.
acting like a hoe.
Here we go again. Top of this video. Depression, anorexia, and all these other bullshit ass illnesses.
Hey, it's the same guy but black.
Alright, man. I'm gonna talk about depression and all these other bullshit ass illnesses that we have in the States here.
We only have them in the States. They don't
Yeah.
get depression anywhere else.
So congratulations if you live outside of the States, because you can't be depressed.
What about U.S. territories? Are they just kind of like in the middle? Some people can be depressed, but not many.
Only the ones who have been made aware of the existence of depression.
Okay, what about Puerto Rico? Because they're not a state, but
they're just depressed to be in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know anything about Puerto Rico. I'm just fuck 'em.
And like they're giving people more and more excuses here in America to be bigger fuck ups. That's all it's doing. Like depression, they're making it seem like it's like cancer or something. Anorexia and bulimia, it's like a big deal.
I haven't heard too much about
And a lot of these other
bulimia lately.
bullshit ass illness, like what's the other one? Fibromyalgia. What's that? Fibromyalgia, whatever. The fuck.
Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Fuck that is. Fibromyalgia, whatever it is.
How do you
It's
know
like
it's
you're
bullshit?
always tired. That's a real disease too.
I kind of have a question. Like, if it's bullshit, you don't even know how to pronounce the name of the disease. You really don't know what it obviously entails. And how can you just declare, like, I really don't know much about this. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, but I can declare it's bullshit based on knowing really nothing about it. Like, people get tired.
The thing about this is, like, before he declared it bullshit, he wasn't like, I have a suspicion these things are bullshit, so I'm going to do an extensive amount of research online. I'm going to go to medical journals. I'm going to read the research and the papers, and I'm going to see if there's really anything to this or not.
Why do so many people...
Instead, he's just... No, it's like, he's just like, all these things are bullshit, and they're bullshit because I think they're bullshit. I'm going to make a video about how they're bullshit.
But why do so many people seem to have these kind of beliefs? Like, you see, like I remember, like, a few weeks ago, like, when you weren't here...
I was here when we had that guy.
No. Remember when, like... No, you... No. I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about when Paul was on the show and you weren't here. Like I said, when you weren't here, they had this anti-vaccine guy, and apparently there's a lot of people that they're anti-vaccine. They think all these diseases are total bullshit. It's like, I'm just wondering why they actually believe this shit, because it's pretty clear they haven't researched any of it, and they have no idea what they're talking about.
Man, there's fucking skeptics for any goddamn thing that happens. Any news story that happens, you can find like at least fucking 5% of people that's like, that fucking shit never really happened like that.
But why are they being skeptical of things that have been clearly demonstrated to exist? I just don't understand it.
I think a lot of times it just like
It
offends some preconceived notion they have in their heads, and they don't want to face certain realities, so it's easier for them to just deny them, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like that Nephilim Free guy. He believes in geocentrism because it says somewhere in the Bible, that the world is in the center of the universe.
Yeah. I just sometimes I hear this shit and I'm just like, man, what is going through this person's head? You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
The answer is not much.
I guess not.
Yeah. Hold on, I choked on that one. But all these little diseases and bullshit ass illnesses are giving you like people reason to keep fucking up. Give you a reason to keep me feeling sorry for you. Well, I don't feel sorry for you. Gives you a reason. Oh, I'm depressed. Well, fucking, I ain't having a great day either, but I ain't taking no fucking medicine for it. No?
That's not depression.
What? The thing I don't understand about this is, like, when, like, depression is so unlikely to even really, like, affect someone else's life unless it's just, like, the fatigue associated with it might make someone seem, like, lazy or unaccountable or something like that. But, like, by and large, people with depression are not, like, out there in the world causing shit. They're mostly, like, laying in bed, fucking staring at the ceiling, just going, like, fuck my existence. Ah. Like, how is that even affecting you? Like, someone is, like, chronically depressed, and you're just gonna be like, yo, fuck you, bitch! Quit fucking taking them pills and shit! It's like, I'm just laying here in my bed, fucking hating my existence. Could you leave me alone, please?
Man, fuck you!
Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you!
I mean...
Just gives you an excuse.
I hate to say, like, me and a lot of people who I hang with, and a lot of places that I've been to, I talk to people, and we came to the conclusion, it's real life, that America's not as tough as it used to be. It's been getting pussified over the generations and over the years. Like, my generation ain't as tough as, like, maybe my dad's generation, my mom's generation, and their generation ain't as tough as maybe my grandparents. It's been, like, trickling down. I mean, let me put this, it's been getting bad since, like, my generation and after.
Well,
Like-
sure. I mean, go back 500 years, like, hey, you know, my ancestors, like, subsisted on a small plot of land. They had it real tough. You want to go back to that time, be my fucking guest, man, because I don't want to go back to it.
He probably does. I mean, like, it's just like the only thing he's like, man, we ain't as tough as we used to be. It's like, well, maybe we exchange toughness for some other values like intelligence and actually rationally inquiring into things and being, like, logical and not emotionally reacting to everything on some guttural level. Like, maybe we're trying to strive more towards that. And it's like, yeah, man, but fucking we turned a bunch of nerds. We ain't gonna be tough no more, man. It's like,
It seems like that's what he's really afraid of, is what he's saying. He's like, man, people aren't as tough as they used to be. Like kind of like the manly man thing is not like what it used to be, so I'm scared.
my identity as a man is being threatened by this changing world in which I live, and I am frightened. Therefore, none of these mental illnesses exist.
I think it kind of sums it up.
Like, I went to school, graduated in 88. And, like, during the 80s, we, like, this is bullshit. We were all worried about ourselves in the 80s. Everybody was, like, the me generation. If you're Generation X and after, you on some bullshit. I mean...
What's he talking about?
I don't even
care
care
What did
anymore.
that last statement even mean?
It was just fucking gobbled.
You're on some bullshit.
Man, you on some bullshit. You Generation X or after, you on some bullshit. It's bullshit, man.
Hey, TJ.
You listen to that Nirvana shit? That shit's garbage, brah.
Hey, TJ.
What?
You're racist.
Why?
I can just tell.
Okay.
Me and Ben decided the other day, we're like, man, TJ sure is a fucking racist.
Is that the name of his show? Life is not a garden, so stop acting like a hoe.
I think so.
That's a very long title.
So the next video we're going to go to is entitled, What is the Patriarchy?
Oh, good question.
Hi, welcome to Feminist Friday.
I've always
a
wondered
series
that.
where we explore the social, the political, and the media from a feminist and intersectional perspective, and use a lot of F words.
Feminist
On today's episode of Feminist
Fridays.
Fridays, we're going to be discussing the patriarchy, which I think is fitting for Halloween, because it's so scary.
The patriarchy attacks.
How dare you make fun of the patriarchy?
Meanwhile, at
It's a
the
serious
Legion of the
subject.
Patriarchy,
Yeah.
we will oppress all women furthermore.
Street harassment is up 25%. Good
Excellent.
job.
What is the dreaded patriarchy? In the simplest terms, patriarchy is a social system that values masculinity over femininity. This type of social system dictates that men are entitled to be in charge and dominate women, and it implies that the natural state of gender relations is a dynamic of dominance and submission. According to patriarchal society, women are seen as weak, submissive, and an extension of men, and the highest accomplishment a woman can hope to attain is marriage, heterosexual, of course, and childbirthing. Fun. On the reverse end of the spectrum, men are expected to be
Why
physically...
is it whenever feminists are talking, my mind just starts wandering elsewhere? It's because they all talk in this, like, language that I don't understand, because it's like feminism has its own very strange vocabulary of, like, terms and thoughts that are almost impenetrably, like, difficult to actually get a grip on, because every fucking single feminist just uses them with no regard for any consistency of definition. So when one feminist says the same word another one does, it doesn't even mean the same thing between the two of them. They're just like, we agree that this is a term about something that actually exists, but none of them can fucking actually cross-verify most of the shit. And okay.
Emotionally strong, dominating, and the breadwinner and protector of his family. Although the domination of women today might not be as bad as, say, a couple hundred years ago when women had no legal rights and were considered their husband's property, or even as bad as something you'd see on an episode of Mad Men, gender is still something that is strictly enforced on people today. In patriarchal societies, cisgender men are typically valued over cisgender women. However, this system forces people into strict boxes called gender roles, and gender roles hurt everybody. If someone who is assigned a certain gender at birth doesn't fit into the social norms expected of that gender, they're often ostracized by society. In the past 100 years or so, we've seen a loosening of gender roles for women, but not so much for men. Women can act or dress in a more masculine fashion with less repercussions than if a man were to act or dress in a feminine way. This stems from the valuing of feminine traits over masculine traits and the association of femininity with weakness. Femininity. That is the hardest word.
Femininity. The problem with all this shit she's saying is that you really can't delve into all these social systems and just ignore all other variables and only look at, like, we're just going to look and focus strictly on gender, and then we have these ideas and we're going to look for all information that confirms them, and anyone who points out how there might be some more nuanced explanation must just be a tool of this patriarchal system that we all agree exists, and therefore we don't have to listen to their opinion. All we have to do is just continue on our fucking quest to prove that everything we say is right.
I feel like the same way. There's a lot of assertions, and it's like, well, where's the evidence for everything you're saying? I mean, that's all good and well to say, I have this theory, or this is what I believe, but it always seems like feminism, it always kind of hits this brick wall of like, well, can you prove what you're saying? I'm not even saying you're wrong, but can you prove it? And it's almost invariably, well, okay, well, here's some very biased study, or no, we just know this is like, the status quo, and you're just trying to deny it, mansplain, blah, 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 all the feminist rhetoric, that gets thrown at you, basically.
To say. It's more okay for a woman to act like a man, or whatever that means, than it is for a man to act like a woman. However, the patriarchy doesn't just harm cis women and cis men. It also hurts trans identities and anyone who doesn't identify with the gender binary. Being transgender is almost like the ultimate slap in the face to patriarchy and gender roles, because you're stepping outside of the gender that you were assigned at birth and saying, fuck that. A lot of transphobia that we see is based in sexism and
excuse me.
Piece of shit.
My problem is, like, okay, so there's gender roles. I don't think anyone can deny that, like, gender roles are imposed to some extent on people. But the problem is that when you start looking at it as like, oh, well, obviously this gender is more advantaged, or this gender is more advantaged, or this way of being is more advantaged, it's like you start to just say, when it starts to be like a contest of suffering, there's no actual credence paid to what's no one's even paying attention to this actual problem they're talking about anymore. They're not actually even talking about, let's fix this. What they're basically just trying to do is, like, let's validate all this suffering so that we can identify, oh, well, this is the problem, and here's what we have to do. And they just have, like, this ego trip about it. And there's not even any, like, substance to back it up. And if you bring up any sort of concerns beyond the limited scope of where they're looking, and it's like, okay, well, let's just, you know, some of your points are valid, but let's fucking back up and actually look at the bigger picture. And it's like, no, because we just need to focus on women, and we just need to focus on these problems that women encounter, and all of your problems will just be solved by proxy once we address this. It's like, no, like, why don't you actually make it inclusive for other people and what they're actually saying to you, and stop just pretending like, oh, society 100% disadvantages women all the time. And there's no instance where males are victimized by any of this stuff, or where women actually have the unfair advantage.
Someone is refusing to stay in the gender box that society put them in. Can we talk about the harmful things that the patriarchy perpetuates? Because there are a lot of them. Women are less likely to hold positions of power. There are only 27 female CEOs in the Fortune 1000, and only 18.5% of Congress is occupied by women. And you might say that more women should run or start their own company, but that's ignoring the reality that women have to face large amounts of discrimination and harassment simply because their gender is seen as less powerful or less credible. And the women that do gain positions of power often have to assert masculine qualities in order to be respected in their position. Women are more likely to be sexually assaulted than men. Women generally do much more of their share of parenting than men do because of gender expectations, often while also working a job. However, men face negative consequences of the patriarchy too.
Anything you want to comment on so far?
My problem is pointing to a bunch of different issues and saying all of these are interrelated, and it's all under this banner of, this is the patriarchy. Welcome to the patriarchy. You know, it doesn't even, there's not even anything that's really tying all this stuff together. It's just saying, oh, well, here's some ways in which our gender is disadvantaged, according to me, and because of that, there's this overarching thing that is responsible for all of it called the patriarchy. And it just seems like you're trying to take something that's very nuanced and complex and shove it into a box called patriarchy and say, like, we have to fucking solve this.
All my perceived social ills are the patriarchy, is what she's saying. And I mean, I'm not saying that women don't face discrimination in business or these other places that she's talking about, but I mean, I don't think it's some grand conspiracy that, I mean, I haven't met many people, I'll just say this, that really believe anything like that. Like, oh, I don't think a woman could be president or a woman could do this job because women are too stupid.
Yeah, but, like, according to her, that's like every guy is standing around all the time. Man, women are just inherently less capable than us in all things. And that's just the way it is. I mean, like, sure, I've fucking encountered people that were like that, but for the most part, no, not really.
Well, it's a stupid position to have. I mean, like, let's talk about, like, physical strength, like the strongest man versus the strongest woman, and, you know, the fastest man, then sure, but when you take physical attributes out, then I really don't think there's much of a difference.
Expected to be the provider of their family and face the pressure of being financially supportive. The patriarchy perpetuates the idea that women need the protection of men, which is one of the ways in which the patriarchy actually disadvantages men. At many points in time, men have been legally forced by drafts to fight in wars and risk their lives. As for women, they've been actively discouraged by a society that doesn't see them fit for combat from enlisting in the military. And the women that do are harassed, demeaned, and even sexually assaulted simply for having the audacity to think they can do the same jobs as men. Women are also less likely to be seen as criminals and are incarcerated at lower rates than men. This is because women aren't seen as dangerous, and when they are convicted of crimes, the defense claims that they must be mad because they're going against their natural womanly instincts.
Well, hold on. What about all the other possible explanations, though? Like, you can't just say, women get off on crimes easier. This is because women are seen as weak. Like, you know that for a fact. Like, how do you know it's not just that juries are more sympathetic towards women?
Well, that's why I said
it's not. How do you know it's just inherently from, like, a sense of, like, oh, well, she's weak?
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, the kind of MO here is a lot of assertions, but very little evidence. I mean, it reads like a very nice PR piece, you know, like, this is why this is bad and this is bad and look at all these horrible things and these are all these, here's some statistics and now you kind of know where I'm coming from, or, now you see where I'm right. And it's kind of like the feminist, like the way they operate is they make it sound like really like, kind of like, here, it's coming full circle, it makes sense. You kind of now see it's all oppression, it's all the patriarchy, put a bow on it and it's done. But it's like, well, you haven't proven anything you've said. I mean, some of the statistics may be true. I can't comment on that, but for like kind of like the thrust of the argument to me is you just kind of have to buy into this whole narrative, and if you don't, then it's kind of just like, I don't really see how you can agree with what she's saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's just a little bit left.
Also important to know that patriarchy isn't solely male perpetuated. Just like how everyone is negatively affected by the patriarchy is perpetuated by everybody. Nobody is outside of societal influence, and we've all been socialized to have patriarchal views of gender and how people...
Well, any social system is maintained like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all behavior, you could say that of any behavior. But I mean... The problem is that she's not ever, in all this video about the patriarchy, she's never actually demonstrated that the patriarchy exists. She's never actually tied any of these ideas together.
No, she's just talked about it like it does for a fact exist.
Right, it's like, here's a crash course on the patriarchy, which is definitely real. I don't know. If there's a compelling argument, I mean, I understand that there are patriarchal subcultures within America.
Sure.
I mean, no one can deny that.
And there's people
but
that
to
hold
say that
sexist
America itself is a patriarchy, I mean, it's weird. It's a weird thing to even say because America is made of so many different little subcultures, each with its own different customs and rules.
And another point is like this isn't like an example she used, like this isn't the Mad Men era. This isn't the 1950s where like your wife literally can't divorce you. You know what I mean? Like, no, bitch, you ain't going anywhere. You're basically my property. This isn't when women can't vote and women don't have any rights in comparison to men, and men have a total advantage in society. Like, if that's what was the status quo, I could see this, you know what I mean? But I don't really see that anymore. I see, if anything, men are kind of regarded as, like, simpletons and idiots, and the popular portrayal is like, men are so clueless about their wives or girlfriend or, whatever. So, I mean, if...
Hi, welcome to Feminist Fridays, the series where we explore the social...
Get started. Okay. So, yeah, I think we pretty much said everything there is to be said about that. This next video, I've avoided using this person who makes these videos for a long time, but I thought since she made like a political video that was kind of dumb, I thought I'd play it.
All right.
But you'll see right away why I didn't want to use her videos.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, it's Christy. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe. Am I the only person who thinks President Obama...
The question everyone's asking right now is, like, why did you do that to yourself? I mean, like, there's a thing where it's, like, breast implants, like, sure, but, like, that's just, like, it's basically like 2 soccer balls in her fucking shirt, you know what I mean? Like, what purpose could that... I don't know. Maybe
if,
it's like,
you know what?
Did she do fetish porn or something?
If that's what she wants to do, that's fine.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm not saying she can't do it. I'm just saying it doesn't really look that great. If it's like if she's doing it for aesthetic reasons, I don't think most people think, well, that looks really good. I mean, I'm sure there's those guys out there like, oh yeah, it looks wonderful, but
she did it for. I guess she thinks it looks good.
That's what I'm guessing. She just like, I don't mind.
I don't really. I mean, they're too big for me, and they look like
ridiculous,
giant. They look like 2 fucking orbs that are just even like separate and floating above her body almost.
That's what I'm saying. It just looks. It does not fit. It's not proportional.
But if she fucking likes it and fucking whatever,
she bust. I mean, she
bust.
Yeah, she bust.
She bust.
She bust.
Has been taking way too many liberties with our liberty lately.
Yeah.
I might be the only person on left YouTube who does, but I know a lot of other Americans who think the same thing. We, the people, reacted to Obama's recent anti-democratic actions during the recent...
No fucking way did that just happen.
It did.
We had the same thought.
midterm elections. We sent more Republicans to Congress and gave a lot more Democrats the boot.
The boot.
But now Obama's not facing any more elections and he can't run again. So the president has gone rogue. He has granted
just waiting for one of them
amnesty
to
to
pop.
between 12 and 20 million illegal immigrants.
Lean forward when you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so obvious. That's part of the. She's standing like this. I mean, come on.
The thing is that she's so hard to listen to that even her giant breasts do not get her the amount of views that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, her videos don't have a lot of views.
Well, they're boring. Everything she's saying,
Right.
and she's just like, okay, it's like a very passionless read of a very generic opinion.
Obama has gone rogue. I do not trust him to be my president any longer. You know.
Dead on, balls accurate.
Obama is insisting that his amnesty is immigration reform.
Immigration
like a typical
reform.
leftist, the president refuses to call a spade a spade.
Ooh.
I'm not even going to bother refuting anything she has to say. This is just so stupid.
You don't respect her because she's a
Right.
woman.
Yeah, yep, you got me. That must be it.
But it's not like he negotiated with Congress to pass an immigration reform bill.
What? What a load of fucking bullshit.
Wow. All right, Scotty, you got Scotty started now. Go ahead.
Oh my god, what a load of fucking bullshit. Like, Obama clearly tried to negotiate with Congress. John fucking Boner, sitting over there with all his Republican cronies, wanted nothing to do with it because they all fucking hate Mexicans and they're all a bunch of racist assholes and everyone knows it. It's so amusing when Republicans go on TV, we're not racist. It's like, yes, you are. You're so clearly racist. Like, everyone knows it. You don't like Mexicans. You don't like Central Americans. Okay, you know, if you look at immigration policy before 1965 in America, you pretty much had to be white or like just almost like slave labor to move to America. Like, you know, Chinese building the railroad kind of shit. But yet we're told that the party of these same people are really gung-ho to reform immigration when their policy platform was like self-deportation. Hey, you came here illegally, just get the fuck out, just leave yourself. I mean, it's just it's insulting for someone to say like the Democrats are not the ones. Like, the Democrats benefit more from immigrants coming, sure. And obviously that's their incentive to do that, but it kind of makes more sense. I mean, look at basically the history of America. I mean, from fucking 1776 on, it's all been about people coming from other places to this country. I mean, maybe if the majority of it was European and white people, but I mean, now it's coming from different places like Asia and South and Central America. And I guess these Republicans are just doing the same line. I mean, they said the same thing about
You know what it
Irish
really is?
people.
Like, a bunch of white people just have this attitude of like, you know what this is? It's just a slow invasion. This is just a real slow invasion of our country.
Do they really feel that way? Have you actually heard people say that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
If I've heard them fucking use the Reddit. Go to any fucking news story where people from the Drudge Report comment. Like, go to the Drudge Report. Don't even fucking drudgereport.com. Fucking scroll down. Read incendiary articles that the Drudge readership went to, and you'll see like the most batshit, insane, crazy right-wing comments you've ever seen in your life. And they don't fucking... That's how I know they're fucking racist, because, like, on those little comment sections, they don't even fucking disguise it. You know, it'll just be like, I'm tired of having to live with these low IQ monkeys that are trying to conquer America.
Oh, God.
And you'll just be sitting like, oh, my fucking God, I can't
Right.
believe that you exist in the fucking world
Well,
still.
they have a lot more courage when they're, you know, behind a computer.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere.
The president has completely
Oh, no, we're not watching any more
decided
of this.
to buy.
Oh, come on. You're riveted.
Oh, my God.
All right. I can't believe they made another one of these videos, but they did.
Hey, what do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice.
Fuck that dude. And lose a sexist attitude. The Potty Mouth Princess Posse is back. Today's topic, violence against women. When it comes to domestic violence, we don't need more fucking silence.
So, wait. So their impression of, like, a man is
fat slob.
like this fat, disgusting slob in a wife
With
beater
greasy
with
hair?
greasy hair and mustard stains.
Yeah,
and
come here.
Yeah.
Make me a sandwich, bitch.
Make me a fucking sandwich, Darlene. Come on.
Extra mayo.
I said no mayo.
You know, like, that's basically their impression of men.
I'm a man. Fucking punch a bitch in the fucking face, you know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do sometimes.
So, what's more offensive? A little girl saying fuck, or the fucked up and sexist way?
Society barely lifts a finger
When men raise their fists.
Here's the fact.
Yeah,
More
right.
fucked
Yeah, fucking right. Are you telling me that most people in America, it's like, I just beat the shit out of my wife, and like, you know, your buddy tells you you're at the bar, you know, good job, bro. You know, you're probably just like, that's not really a funny joke,
No.
you know, like,
I
no, I really did.
I think someone would kind of like call the cops or something.
Yeah, they'd be like, whoa, that dude is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I knew that guy, man. Not according to the foul-mouthed little kid posse.
Then the word fuck. 1 out of 4 women will be the victims of domestic violence. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want a future we can dream about, not one that we'll fucking scream about. 25% of women we bully, beaten, and bash, and in their own homes. Their
So you know what's really funny? Like, actually, society takes the issue of domestic violence towards women, like, really fucking seriously.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? What's funny is, like, if you, it's like you bring up that same bar scenario where it's like, oh, we're both sitting at the bar. It's like, hey, Scotty, I beat the shit out of my wife. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, Scotty, I beat the shit out of some random dude. It's like, man, that's pretty badass. Good job. So if anything, it's violence towards men no one gives a shit about.
Exactly.
It's like, I beat some dude's ass. Awesome. Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, you fucking showed that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a fucking pussy. You know, like nothing
that's
to you.
that's the violence victim no one gives a shit about, not fucking battered women. Pretty much the entire society is on the fucking page
This
of
isn't
that shit.
This isn't fucking Egypt. If they were talking about Egypt or some, you know, Middle Eastern country and saying this, they'd be like, yeah, they have a point. You know, America, like, pretty much if a dude hits his wife, if she reports him, he's gonna go to jail. I mean, like, obviously not every woman reports that. Just like not every guy reports his wife slapping him or something. I mean, even though it is assault or battery, you know, it's like, oh, let's just.
I've seen pictures of dudes that were all fucking like scraped up and scratched and like had been hit with objects and shit. Like, my wife just fucking, you know, slammed this fucking can of tuna into my fucking head. Now I'm bleeding. You know, and it's like people like, oh, well, you know,
he had it coming.
You know, he must have really pissed her off.
Yeah.
Fucking trash! Yo, grown up, don't you see the sexist education boys are getting? With a fucked up example you are setting. Where women are devalued and paid less for the exact same work, but valued if they can be mindless sex objects that twerk? So big fucking surprise! Some guys think they can bruise, punch, and scrape in a culture where 1 out of 5 women are victims of rape. So, yeah.
Got all Dr. Seuss for a second there.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why would they make 2 of these?
The first one was a big viral hit, so they're like, man,
gotta sell
if
more
it worked
t-shirts.
once, it worked
Was
again.
it a hit in a positive way?
I'm sure to the feminists it looked great, you know, because I mean, the whole point of this obviously is, hey, if little kids are cursing, it's going to get people's attention. They're going to share this.
If you go on Tumblr and shit, people be like, this is fucking great. This is
Big
awesome.
fucking fuss. We don't want a violent future. For any of us. Got a problem looking at my big fucked up face? Isn't 1 out of 4 women beaten the real disgrace? We're sick of violence against women, and sex is full of shit. Quit bitching about us saying fuck and do something about it.
Girls, it's their future.
Break the silence on domestic violence.
We don't need no man in this second commercial. Yeah.
The silence on domestic violence.
100% of the profits
man was
from
later
these
found
not
beating his
a
fucking
wife
boyfriend.
beater tanks goes to domestic violence charities. Girls just want to have fun. Dementia rights.
Men of quality do not fear equality.
This is what
Men of quality do not fear equality. Yeah.
Okay, but the problem you have with this is all framed in one direction. It's like, we want equality, but the only people causing this problem are men. Women are they're total victims, they're totally innocent, and that's it. I mean, that's the impression they're leaving. It's like, there's a campaign, like I'll be watching football, and it's like, you know, they'll basically talk about like how like men beat women, how it's not okay, and how it's, you know, basically just...
Well, you know why they talk about that now.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, but the whole point is that it's always from the perspective of men are the ones doing this. It's not women are just always the victim 100% of the time. You know, like, and it's just this fucking implication that men are just these animals that just like, oh man, I just can't contain myself, I gotta beat my wife. And I mean, sure, some guys do that, but the vast majority don't. And I mean, I don't really know where they got these statistics from, but they sound like bullshit to me.
All right. So, do you want to move on?
Moving on.
Okay. I guess here's a news story out of Poland. They banned Winnie the Pooh. Did you hear about that?
Okay.
Fuck you, Poland.
Well, some small-town officials in Poland, they seem to have too much time on their hands. Winnie the Pooh is causing outrage. The much-loved animated bear has been banned from a Polish playground. The reason, his dubious sexuality and what they call his
dubious sexuality.
Yeah.
He's a stuffed bear.
He's a fucking stuffed fucking bear.
Children's... Why does he even have to have a sexuality? Like, Winnie the Pooh does not really seem like he's getting a lot of fucking action sexually.
Right.
At all.
I don't think that goes on in the Winnie the Pooh universe.
Right.
No, it's pretty sad that these people are like, oh, he's ambiguous. But you see that a lot of like places like Russia and Eastern Europe, these people are so like homophobic and just like, oh, I don't want anything that might make my kid gay. And it's like, I don't think Winnie the Pooh is going to make your kid gay, but whatever.
Inappropriate dress. In other words, the bear has no pants on. At a local council meeting in the town.
Do bears wear pants?
Yeah, what bears wear pants?
I mean, I know he's wearing a shirt, but that's stretching it, you know? It's taking it a little too far.
I don't... And everyone else is pretty much completely naked.
Right.
Well, Piglet's not, I guess. But Eeyore and Tigger are completely butt-ass naked. How is that not, you know, a problem?
Of Tuzin, one official says that the bear is a hermaphrodite and is inappropriate for children, if you can believe.
These people retarded?
It's a fucking cartoon character. Like, have they never been exposed to cartoons at all? Like, most cartoon characters that are animals, like in the classic tradition of like Looney Tunes and shit, and like the old Disney shorts, like they didn't have clothes usually, and if they did, they didn't have any genitalia. Like, it's not because, you know, it's just like a convention of animation, for fuck's sake.
That this all began with a discussion of which famous character should become the face of the play area, and people clearly think this is pretty silly. Here are some of the tweets. Someone saying, what country could possibly ban a childhood treasure like Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh rules. Somebody else says, just saw the news that a town banned Winnie the Pooh because he doesn't wear pants. What about the rest of the naked characters? Which is a good question. And Winnie the Pooh banned in Poland for being a hermaphrodite. Officially, I give up on planet Earth.
It just says I officially, but whatever.
Yeah.
I give up on planet Earth.
I can't believe they took the time to have a committee to discuss this.
They must
This
be
is a
really
very
bored.
important issue.
Yeah, pressing issue.
So if they don't like him for being a hermaphrodite, shouldn't they just give him like a big cock?
I don't know. I never once thought ever in my whole life that Winnie the Pooh was a hermaphrodite.
No. Until now.
You know, there's a reason there's so many jokes about Polish people. Come on.
Oh. Had to go there, didn't you, teacher?
Well, they're fucking... I mean, look at this story. I mean, come on.
All right.
I'm not going to say anything.
Here's another cop shooting people video.
Oh,
you know, just
joy.
run-of-the-mill stuff.
Just another week in America. Who'd the police kill this week, Henry? I don't know.
Just a couple of kids and some old people.
Oh, those silly cops.
They jumped in front of the bullet. They wanted to die. They had a death wish. Whee!
And let's get you started with that shocking new information on a
shocking
well-publicized
about
road
it?
rage incident.
Tonight, the young woman shot during rush hour is telling us just what happened, and as we just saw, a law officer has been arrested and charged. Malini Basu is live downtown where that officer is jailed with this exclusive update. Malini.
Well, that's right, Lisa and Greg. We spoke to that victim just a short time ago. She tells us her life has changed forever. She doesn't want to leave her house. She's not going to work. She's not going to school.
Yeah, it's crazy because she was shot in the head.
Yeah, I know the story, yeah.
She is so scared of what will happen next. And the thing that scares her the most, the suspect in this case is a reserve deputy. We were there this afternoon as Kenneth Kaplan was taken in for questioning. The reserve deputy constable with Precinct 6 is now charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
He just always have a strong attitude when he comes off. He's never nice.
He's accused of shooting a 20-year-old woman who was driving on the loop at Stella Link.
I feel like I got a taste of death, honestly.
In her first ever interview, she told us she was afraid of retaliation.
All of a sudden, I'm driving and this guy cuts me off. And he was about to hit me, so I switched to the other lane. I got in front of him and I cut him off, and I guess that pissed him off.
Made him so mad, she says.
And he went like that, and he just fired at me. And then all of a sudden, like, I just heard like a ring in my ear.
Also questioned, but not
Just
charged.
a few bad apples.
Right, yeah.
Here's a guy who literally, like, because of a traffic incident, just pulls a gun and shoots someone. And that's the kind of person that they just give a badge and gun to, and like, yeah, you're an authority over people's lives.
Yeah, he's a reserve. But you know, the thing is that, I mean, you can just see this guy just, you know, I mean, if he was on duty, I mean, would he even been charged? He could have just made some. Oh, I told the driver to pull over, and she, you know, tried to ram the vehicle at me, so I fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say what would have happened,
but I mean. We've seen that pattern over and over again. I mean, this guy obviously was just driving down the street, you know, and he did this as a private citizen, so that's why he's being charged.
Right.
By the way, last week we did a story about a 12-year-old who was shot by the police because he had a
in
BB
Cleveland,
gun.
yeah.
I don't know. Did either of you guys actually watch the footage of that?
Yeah. They shot. Like,
they literally
as soon as
they basically got out of the car and shot him. They were all like, "We fucking told him to put his weapon down." They was like, "You didn't have time."
And they didn't help him either. They're just like, "Die, you know, just sit there and die." The wonderful police department of Cleveland, Ohio.
The woman, investigators tell us, who was a passenger in Kaplan's car when the shooting happened. The victim says that woman seemed to move out of the way so the man would have a clear shot.
She leaned back. She didn't even look at me.
The woman stopped in the middle of the loop, calling 911.
And I was just like, oh my God, he just shot me. And I was just applying pressure to my head because I wouldn't stop bleeding.
Jesus Christ, man. People are crazy.
And this guy... I mean, he was a reserve, but I mean, they still go on patrol and shit.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
so imagine, you know, calling in and you get this fucking cop that's this much of a hothead that he would just shoot someone on the street.
Yeah, over nothing.
Over
really.
a fucking, you know, some slight. You cut me off in traffic, you motherfucker! Die!
I mean, yeah, and how petty. You know, I'm gonna pull a gun and teach you. I'm gonna kill you, teach you a lesson. You'll never cut me off again. It's like, wow, that's your solution to the problem? And I wonder why there's a problem with our police force.
She says she thought that was it.
I'm going to die in my car right here on 610.
The woman spent 3 days in the hospital.
And I keep thinking that someone's going to come up and shoot me.
The victim has 8 staples in her head, and she believes God was just watching out for her.
He heard me and he saw...
No. You got lucky.
Where was God before you got shot?
Why didn't God just stop the bullet then? Yeah, I hate when people go to that. Oh, well, you know, I thank God. It's like, no. Sorry.
The luck of the draw.
That I was sincere, and he gave me a second chance in life.
And the victim also tells us the hardest part, everyone was just watching and no one stopped to help her. Now, I want to make it clear that reserve deputy there, we're told that he was off duty during that shooting. We could tell you that investigators tell us there is much more to this case that they just can't talk about. For now, we are live in downtown Houston tonight.
Much more to the case.
There's
like what?
much more to the case.
What, he's even more guilty than we suspect? You know, like what? I mean...
I think that's just their way of like trying to like minimize the damage. Like, there's a lot more facts out there that need to be investigated.
Okay, the police department should disavow him totally and completely and fire him. That's what they should do. I mean, obviously there's like police unions and shit. Fine, go through the process, but this guy does not deserve to be a cop, even if he somehow wins this case, because it's bullshit. Anyone who would make that sort of judgment call, even if you somehow beat criminal prosecution, like, I feared for my life, and some dumb jury is like, well, he's a cop, so I buy it. You know, I mean, he's clearly guilty.
How dare you?
Yeah, I've actually done jury duty before, and I've heard people say that they would be more inclined to believe a police officer over a citizen.
My uncle was actually kicked off a jury for giving the wrong answer to that question.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, I trust them less.
Yeah, he said, I actually trust the testimony of a cop less than I do a normal person. And he was dismissed from that jury.
Yeah, quite quickly.
So, you want to move on?
Sure.
Okay. This is about like police auctions. There's like a website now that's like coordinating police auctions, and people are buying like tons of shit confiscated by the police.
Oh, of course.
Let's see.
I'm at the property room warehouse here in the City of Industry. There's several of these warehouses around the country. Right here, bicycles, about 2,000 of them. All these hot items were hot. Almost all of it. Stolen.
Can I say something?
Sure.
About this? Like,
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird to give the police like a big financial incentive to want to seize a lot of property?
Is that strange?
I mean,
well, dude, after 9/11, they have these like they actually tell people in Canada when they come to America, don't carry large amounts of cash, and if you're stopped by the police, do not tell them you have large amounts of cash because the police can seize it, and then you have to go and prove the cash is legitimate. They don't have to prove that you were committing a crime. You have to prove that you're in it, that the money is innocent. Like, this is for my job, and I get paid in a lot of money in cash. So you have to go to court to prove the money is yours if you have a large amount of money. And of course, the police departments generally just get to keep this cash they confiscate. So they have a huge incentive to do this with taking your money or property.
Yeah, wait till you see what they have. They have so much shit. It's unbelievable.
Oh, of course.
Evidence contributed by 3,000 police departments around the country. They ship to all over the country, and they may soon start to ship to Canada and Mexico. Items include everything from...
This is a private company that sells the shit for the police departments, and they skim some off of the profits.
Yeah.
Desktops. These are scrubbed and cleaned, they say here, by the Department of Defense standards, so they wipe all of this off.
Make sure that people don't get other people's information or, explicit pictures or anything crazy.
Child porn is basically what he's talking about.
Yeah. Like that.
And then if you go down the line here, you'll see all sorts of other items up for bid. You've got a snare drum, you can get yourself a backpack blower, and even a karaoke machine. And then over here, power tools galore, and even a brand new chainsaw. Property room was started by an ex-police officer who saw an opportunity here and seized it. And so, as we said, you've got items that were taken in by all these police departments that nobody claimed.
Police departments like it because all they have to do is just follow the program by listening.
Yeah. So...
all they gotta do is have an incentive to take your shit.
Right. I mean, there's cars and houses and all kinds of shit.
Of course.
The item, take pictures of the front, left, right, rear, etc., and put it up online for auction. Typically, it's a 50-50 split.
And by the way, if any of the items are bad or counterfeit or fake, they just go ahead and destroy it. Now over here, a very interesting room. It says JW Center. JW stands for jewelry and watches. So where does all this stuff come from? All over. Look in here.
Yeah, the watches that he's about to show are extremely expensive ones. And the company gets 50%, is what he said.
Yeah.
So.
Evidence labels. This one from Indianapolis. A homicide, it looks like, in Kansas. This is the jewelry room. That's why the small bags. And if you look around here, some astounding deals. They say this bag alone probably worth more than $100,000. This watch, a Patek Philippe, estimated at $60,000. Next to it, a presidential Rolex, $35,000 to $40,000. And on this jewelry and 95% of the items in here, the opening bid on the auction is $1.
Yeah.
Well, that's the opening bid. I mean,
I'm sure the Rolexes don't stay at $1.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Rolex for $10. Opening bid's only $1. Not happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure to be cheaper than going and buying it new. Sure, but
Probably.
it's probably gonna end up at $10,000 or something.
Next story. Someone claims that they were fired for needing cancer treatment.
Speaking outside the Chicago hospital where he's scheduled for an evening MRI, Jonathan Larson explains to us what he's fighting every day of his life.
Multifocal myxopapillary ependymoma.
Which is?
Cancer of the brain and spine.
The 19-year-old says just standing with us for a few minutes can be painful. Radiation weakens his spine and already...
for you guys?
Yeah. I don't know what's up with this video, but that's it. For some reason, when she talks, it's through one channel, and when he talks, it's through the other.
Weird.
Weak bones,
I don't
but he
like
wants to tell us what happened to him when he told his employer, Rosebud, that he had to take 6 weeks off for back surgery.
He said, so you're just going to leave me high and dry like that, huh?
Jonathan, a delivery driver at the Naperville restaurant, says when he offered to come back to work afterward, he was told...
He said, no. By that time, I already have another driver hired, He's like, you know what, just leave. I need to make some phone calls. I'm really disappointed. I'm saddened by it. This isn't something that I can really help. And just the way that he treated me, I just felt really disrespected.
That dude's a dick.
Right.
It's like, oh, you need some time off for cancer treatment?
Leave me high and dry.
I'll find another driver by then. You just fuck off.
Yeah. You gone, bitch.
That'll teach you to get cancer.
A Rosebud spokesperson says in a statement tonight that they can't comment on specific personnel matters. They are thoroughly investigating this matter.
Thoroughly investigating this matter? Thoroughly investigating this matter? What the fuck? How thorough of an investigation is really warranted? It's a fucking restaurant. All you got to do is like we're gonna talk to our employees.
This is a standard PR line when it makes a company look bad.
But I mean, it's like if you're like a senator or a major corporation, it kind of makes sense. But if you're just one restaurant,
I think this is a chain, but a small chain.
All right.
Protocols were appropriately followed. Rosebud proudly serves the Chicagoland community and considers it our mission to treat all employees fairly. But Jonathan says it wasn't fair at all. As we moved to a seated position for his comfort, he told us,
I would love an apology. And that would go a long ways to me feeling a lot better about the situation.
Why wait? Fuck, don't fucking get an apology. Get some money.
Right.
Man, like... Okay, this dude's like, if they just apologize to me, it's like, okay, why don't they just say, we're sorry, this guy's an asshole. The end.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that would kind of solve the problem here, but I don't know. I mean, just being reasonable and actually listening to what he had to say, it just sounds like this guy, his manager was basically an asshole that was like, well, we have to fire you. It's like, okay, well, I mean... If that's the law and the law's on his side, like at-will employment, I guess...
at-will employment.
Then, there you go. But, I mean, at the same time, he doesn't need to be a dick about it. And obviously, that's what the story is about, is that just how callous, this guy was.
Yep. All right, so the next story is about the holiday in America that we're the most proud of. Black Friday, started by Jesus.
3,000 years ago.
Yep. 3,000 years ago, Jesus started Black Friday.
On the shores
of a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Of a T-Rex. Yeah.
Overnight, the hunt for bargains across the nation.
Look at these
becoming
fucking
a contact.
These people are fucking animals fighting for what is it, is it a laptop? What is it?
Save like $50 on something.
Some kind of maybe. It's
they fight. They literally just fighting. It's like, hey, even if you save like $100, is it really worth your dignity? And I guess we know the answer for these people is yes. I don't have no dignity and I have no shame. And I'd rather be like a fucking goddamn animal fucking some fucking dogs fighting for a fucking bone. Seriously. That's what it is.
Sport. Police prying these shoppers off the floor at this Walmart in Houston, Texas, refusing to let go of a discounted TV. One police officer even grabbing this shopper by the face and throwing him to the ground. Tempers flare at this Walmart in Michigan City, Indiana, with shoppers clamoring for a bargain on Sony speakers. And in Los Angeles, police were called to another Walmart after a brawl broke out over a $5 Barbie.
A brawl over a $5.
Like I said, they're trading their
What?
dignity in for a $5 Barbie. Like, let's have a fucking brawl in this store. Like, how fucking stupid can you possibly be?
Jingle All the Way 3. Starring someone even below Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, this would be a better Jingle All the Way movie.
That was what the first one was about, was two dudes fighting
Right.
over a fucking Christmas toy.
Exactly.
There was obviously a fight between a guy and a girl over a Barbie doll, and the girl socked the guy in the face just to get the Barbie.
That doesn't happen. Only men are violent.
The stampede through the front doors, a welcome sight for retailers hoping to cash in on the holiday frenzy.
Wouldn't be doing this if the demand was not there.
The National
That's the saddest part about it right there.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's a segment of people that just every year like, man, I'll stay in fucking negative 20-degree weather if I'm going to save $10 on a television.
Fuck that.
I know. It's right.
I'd pay the extra $10 not to sleep outside.
You know, obviously the savings are bigger, but it's like $100. It's like, okay, I have to sleep outside or freeze my ass off for like 18 hours.
No way.
To save $100, $200, $300.
Because these people actually sell themselves this narrative of like, I'm going to get all my shit done now, and then I won't spend any money for the rest of the fucking, the year.
Yeah, of course, sure.
And then, of course, that never even happens anyway.
Retail Federation projected this holiday season spending will total nearly $617 billion, growing 4.1% over last year.
I rushed over here to be one of the first ones to just get everything that I need and then go home.
Some shoppers camping outside for days.
I bring my TV, my generator, my little tent, the chairs. I let everybody have a good time.
Strumming the guitar to pass the time.
Got in my car, drove like a jet.
You'd be like, shut up, dude.
I'd be throwing something at him.
Yeah, you would be.
Come on, man. It's bad I'm going to wait in this fucking line.
If I want to listen to music, I'll put on my headphones and listen to my music that I like. Don't subject me to that shit.
I remember we were watching that one video and the guy was reading a poem and you're like, why am I being subjected to this poem?
Yeah, I remember that.
That does sound like something TJ would say.
Yeah, so, by the way, everybody, if you like the Drunken Peasants and you like this video, feel free to hit the like button.
Like it!
Please like the video.
Like it now, I'll kill you!
Got like 2,800 or so viewers right now.
Lazy fucks, click like now, or we punch TJ in the face.
Well, that's going to make them not want to click it. They're going to want to see that.
We'll still punch you in the face regardless.
Yeah.
Either way, it's happening, but
The more likes, the quicker it happens.
Thumbs up.
All right. Do you want to move on to something else, or do you want to take a break and then come back to questions?
What time is it?
Let's see. It's about 9. I guess we can do that, huh?
Yeah, we could just. We've been on for an hour and a half, I guess. So, or what is it?
And questions take
An hour and 20.
Hour and 20 minutes.
Questions take a while generally. So
Okay, so we'll be back answering your questions right here on the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I'm 10.
To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out. I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? Fuck it! Fuck it! Fuck it!
you to break your dawn. You know I'll wait by your window till the moon is undone. You know I'll wait by your back, roll down the screen and kick 'em outside and see me while kids are making playing in the sun.
Fuck it!
Well, I got my rights, I pay my bills, I got my know-how. When I never like to get my hands dirty, I got it all figured out.
Fuck it!
When I never play out the game with a chick, not doing good change that bring me neither rich fucking no fame. Because I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Thinking I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Going to parties all night, the gates of our room fight. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Saying I just wanna be a motherfucker, yeah. Motherfucker am I, motherfucker in my eyes. I don't care, but still your beer.
That fucking song is over.
You're a piece of shit,
And the
DJ.
Drunken Peasants are back.
The Drunken Peasants return.
That's what my phone always tries to write.
The Drunken Pheasants?
Yep.
You can't be a peasant.
Do
but
you,
you can't
do
be
you
a
use
peasant.
swipe?
Yeah, I use the swipe
I
thing.
see.
It's always doing that kind of shit to me.
Yeah. Yeah, swipe does do that. It's bullshit. All right.
It is bullshit.
Now it's time for Q&A time.
Fascism. It's fucking
Hey, Drunken
fascism.
Peasants. This is a question for TJ.
And TJ only.
Ban TJ.
Ban TJ. Ban TJ. Ban TJ. Come on, TJ.
No.
Chant with us, TJ.
I refuse to disparage
Ban
myself.
TJ. Ban TJ.
Ban TJ.
Oh, there you
Ban
go.
TJ.
There you go.
Ban TJ. Ban
No. You're going on too long.
Whatever, TJ.
Ban TJ.
Took it way too far, TJ.
Ban TJ.
Come on. Don't ban TJ.
What it is, well, I think I might be interested in buying your book, The Douchebag Bible.
Then do it.
Which I know is a combination of 3 of your books.
Only if TJ sucks your dick now. He's like, you gotta suck my dick. You want me to buy it? And TJ's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Give me all the books.
I have 2 questions, actually.
Money.
I know it's a combination of 3 of your books. And, so, is that every book you've written, or do you have other ones? Because I don't know too much about all the books you've written, but I'm interested in reading the books that you've written, so I think I'm going to get the Douchebag Bible.
The Douchebag Bible is all 3 books that I ever published for my YouTube audience, which were Scumbag, Musings of a Subhuman, which I wrote back in, like, I don't know, 2007 or something like that.
Yeah, then it was, what, In Defense of Evil?
In Defense of Evil, and then I wrote...
Neckbeard Uprising.
Yeah, Neckbeard Uprising.
I don't even remember.
I keep wanting to say The Final Revelation, because that was the combination of the first 2 books, and that one, more people reference that.
Really?
When they talk to me.
Hi, TJ, Ben, and or Scotty.
And
I have a question for you. Do you think that suicide is a selfish action?
Sure. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. I mean, if you kill, if you kill yourself because you have a terminal illness, like, sure, it's selfish. I mean, sure, I'm sure that people in your family want to see you longer and be around you longer, but... I mean, ultimately, it is a selfish act, but just because of it's selfish, I don't think it makes it wrong or bad.
Right. I agree.
I think it's interesting that suicide is at once like a selfish act, but also sort of a selfless act.
Yeah.
You know? It has elements of both of those things going on. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess suicide is kind of selfish.
An eloquent answer by an eloquent man.
Mr. Mustaches here. Mustache.
You don't have a mustache.
I think maybe that's like the joke or something. This dude looks like Cody when he's 40.
He's old Cody. Wait a minute. No. It's Cody who traveled to the future. And now he likes you again.
Oh.
That's what it is.
That's sweet.
You guys are friends. Hey, old Cody.
Just got a couple of questions for you about the
Your
topic
voice
of
is
morality.
less annoying than it used to be.
My first
Cody.
question being, have you heard of Lawrence Kohlberg's stages of moral development?
No.
No.
Nope.
You have. Extrapolate on that.
I'm glad I haven't, so I don't have to do that.
Don't look
like
at it. It's not really super important.
Why did
portraying in my next
Okay, what's the real question that's not us giving a dissertation on something?
question? And of course, this applies to everyone, whether it be your guest or Ben or Scotty, of course, TJ. But
Ben!
Yes, that's my first question. My second question being,
Cody
where
loves
would
you,
you
Ben.
say your morality lies, and what kind of guides your morality? Is it
A magical guy in the sky in a book of fairy tales.
Yeah, I mostly obey the spaghetti monster.
Spaghetti monster is like, he hits you with the noodle, and you're like, I gotta do it. Gotta kill this orphan. Fucking noodle hit me in the head.
Well, the way I do it is, you know how Two-Face has the coin? I have a bowl of pasta and meatballs.
Oh, okay.
And if I take a bite, if there's meatball in it, then I do the evil thing.
What if there's
But if
both?
it's just pasta.
Yeah, what if there's both?
If there's both, there's still meatball in it. It's just a matter of whether there's meat in the bite that I take.
That's crazy talk.
Huh?
But if it's just noodle, then I'll do the good thing. I'll do the right thing.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
You know, you need some sort of guiding principle, and I think pasta is as good a tool as any.
What's up, Drunken Peasants? This right here is a question for TJ.
What the fuck is this shit?
You being
me and Ben don't exist. We're just like these two fucking assholes. Like, hey, fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledum, make way for TJ. Oh, that's all. Are you Rom?
Yeah. Hey, boys. No. Hey, brother. Yeah. Hey, brother. Should I go mop up the hollow sweets?
That's spot on.
Yeah.
a big YouTuber, do you ever get spotted in public? And if so, like, how often? And is it ever weird, or, you know, are the interactions just chill and cool and smooth? I was just curious about that because
with
I don't
me,
know.
no random interaction could be chill and cool.
Right,
and smooth.
right. And it's not normally the other person. It's normally TJ that makes it an awkward interaction.
Yes.
TJ,
I cannot
Now you have to tell some of your stories now about your different interactions.
You know, there have been ones where the other person made it awkward. Like there was a guy that approached me in the bookstore and said, "Excuse me, how do you make your living?" I'm like,
drugs.
And I made up some bullshit about, like, I'm in marketing or something because, you know, I hate to say that I do YouTube videos because then it just requires an explanation, and that's a whole conversation, and I don't want to get into a conversation. So I'm just like, marketing, leave me alone. And he's like, I've seen you on YouTube. It's like, oh, so you already knew. You were just asking to be rhetorical. Okay. And he's like, yeah, I got to go get some out of my car. I'll be right back. I'm like, this motherfucker might be trying to shoot me. I need to get out of here.
Right.
I like that. It's like, man, I gotta go.
Oh my god. And okay, I don't want to fucking sound like I'm super judgmental towards people, but sometimes I am. And there was a guy that looked like a 10,000 times uglier version of fuck, what's that guy's name? Not Gary Busey. Shit.
Joe Pesci?
No.
Who oh, hold on. Do you mean Nick Nolte?
No, not Nick Nolte, no. Fucking the guy that played Donnie in fucking Big Lebowski.
Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi. And he looked like a 10,000 times uglier version of Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
And he came up to me with his like Gollum-like face and his big eyes just bulging out of his head at like crazy intensity.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Wow, amazing atheist! I didn't know you lived around here. That's so cool."
This happened here?
No, this was in Louisiana.
Okay, this is in Louisiana.
And A Christian dude came up to us when we were eating pizza one time.
I was there.
Scotty was there, and Cody was there, actually.
Wasn't Galen there, too?
No. Yes.
Yeah,
maybe. Galen was there.
Yeah,
Galen was there. And
No, wait. No, that was Matt. It was me, you, and Matt. And
well, who the fuck cares who was there? Doesn't even matter.
Well, I know it doesn't matter, but I'm trying to fucking remember it now, too, so whatever.
And the Pope was there, and John Leguizamo.
All right, fuck you. Just
the guy who played the clown in Spawn, he was there.
John Leguizamo.
John fucking Leguizamo
no one fucking
was
likes
there.
You, TJ, and this is why they don't like you, because you're an asshole.
And anyway, so this fucking guy shows up, and he's like, "Hey, excuse me, are you the Master Atheist?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, that's really interesting. Here, I want to shake your hand." And then he left. And I'm like, okay, well, that was weird. And then like 2 minutes later, he came back. "I just like to know, where do you get your information from?" And I'm like, what do you mean, where my information? Like, when you talk about religion and stuff, like, where do you get your information from? I'm like, I don't know, like the Bible. "Oh, really? Interesting, because really, like a lot of the stuff he said is not really in the Bible, and the Bible is actually
It's not really accurate.
It's not really accurate to what the Bible fucking says."
And he kept going on and on.
And we're just like, okay, I'm trying to eat pizza, and I really don't give a fuck about your religious tirade, and I'm not looking to get in a theological debate with you here while I'm eating my pizza. I just want to eat my pizza.
Yeah, we're all just here eating a fucking pizza at like Reginelli's Pizza, which is like a pizza chain in the New Orleans area. And this guy is just fucking harassing us with this stupid shit till we were probably about 30 seconds away from being like, get the fuck away from us, when he finally just took the hit and finally left. We stopped talking to him like, that's great.
Dude, what about that fucking guy when like our laundry machine was broken and we went to the laundromat and it was me, you, and our mom, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, are you the amazing atheist?" And he puts his hand out for me to shake it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And I start shaking his hand. He's like, "I'm really not a fan of your work."
Yeah, I remember
Nice
that.
to meet you.
I'm like, why'd you shake my hand then? You just wanted it to be awkward? And then he wrote me under the YouTube account, I think as a beta vet.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And he's like, "I'm a veteran, and I met you at the laundromat, and that's just proof that you're a broke motherfucker." It's like, you were at the laundromat too.
Yeah, it's like, what are you...
He's like, "I saw you at a laundromat."
It's like, okay.
You're the scum of the earth because you were in a laundromat where I also was.
My dryer's broken. I need to dry my clothes still.
All right, so I guess back to this guy.
Yeah, that was his question though. He was asking about fucking how I was when I meet fans.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, those were all
if I
hater
ever saw
stories
you in
though.
public. But my second question is actually a little more thought provoking. We always talk about world peace and how humans should strive to reach world peace. But what in your eyes would that actually be? Will world peace be a utopia where there is no sadness, there is just joy all day, every day? Or do you think that world peace would just simply be a united government amongst the entire world and there like is no war? Maybe there are like still political disputes, you know, whether,
but they're like,
you know,
solved peaceably, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. World peace, I mean, if you're going to talk about like practical, actually able to exist and be sustained world peace, then I would imagine it would have to be some sort of, you know, unification of government and everyone's kind of just on the same page with how society should be run. Maybe not, maybe people still have different opinions, but everyone agrees that, you know, violence is not the way to do things, and
kind of submits to like a political process of some kind that everyone agrees
where
upon.
everything is all checks and balances, and, you know, violence is increasingly a thing of the past, and people become more peaceable and don't rely on, you know, theft and coercion and war and violence and other things to affect change in their lives. But I mean, it's not like people are just going to be non-stop happy and like, yeah, life is great.
Yeah,
unless there's just like some new drug or fucking something created where like, this is just pure happiness all the time, and no matter what happens to you, you're good.
You know, we talk about these modern day utopias, but if you're someone like, say, an anarchist, and it's like you have this very rigid, you know, government is kind of just like taking over society in a way where it's like everyone agrees on these things and everyone has like one identification, and it's like for the whole planet and everything. If you believe in anarchy, that'd be a dystopia to you. You know what I mean? So we really don't know I guess you really can't say you can't define like kind of like a utopian future for anyone but kind of yourself. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I'm back, Drunken Peasants podcast, and yet I got another fucking question for you guys. I have two this time. I'm trying to make them quick, under a minute, so let's do this. My first question, Scotty is not on your main bill. I'm serious, like, he's not on your main bill. It's Ben and TJ. Why is it not Scotty and Ben and TJ? I guess it's kind of monotonous or redundant or whatever.
A wonderful question. A wonderful question. I honestly have no idea why, but it just doesn't really seem like a thing that ever really mattered that much. I mean, I guess didn't you put me on there for like some overlay or something?
Yeah, it's with Ben and TJ featuring Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ben and TJ are the host of the show, so I mean...
And Scotty's not always here.
I mean, I'm here a lot, but I'm not always here. That was kind of what I always said. I was like, well...
And we're just too lazy. Like, we've been playing the same Audible ad...
Yeah.
For, like, basically an eternity now, because I'm just too lazy to shoot another one.
I guess that's my new...
So it's the same thing with the show
demand.
kind of.
I demand it says featuring Scotty sometimes. ... sometimes.
Featuring Scotty on occasion.
But I like Scotty. He should be on the main bill. He's a fucking badass. I like Scotty.
I think we should just fire Scotty right now.
This guy's brilliant. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Scotty, you're fired.
I don't like Scotty fans.
Scotty fans are the best fans.
They're gross.
They scare you.
Look at his fucking something disparaging.
He likes
about
that.
His
He likes
general
those like
appearance. I don't know.
pizzas that you like, and he likes fucking Cheerios.
Those are. I don't like Tony's pizzas. Those things are fucking shit.
You
That's
hate
like one of the
those?
shit brands.
Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't really eat frozen pizza.
That's because you're scum, Scotty.
People like Scotty. Meh. Second question, real quick. So, you guys have a sponsorship with Audible.com, and I like Audible.com. I used up their free trial, and I like I like the results of it. But how did you guys get the sponsorship?
Look for affiliate programs.
Yeah, it's just the Audible podcast, like affiliate program, and like that you just sign up for it, and they accept you or decline you based upon like whatever criteria they judge that on.
Yep.
Which we don't know because we're not them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, how's it going? I've got
going
two questions for
shitty,
you guys.
man.
My first question is about George Carlin.
real
peace be
shitty.
upon him. Carlin died back in 2008, 6 years ago, and a lot of shit's gone down ever since, obviously. Obama's been elected.
Nothing has
he's gone through
happened
2
since
terms. The explosion of social media, all sorts of shit like that. And my question is, if Carlin were alive today, what would you have liked to hear him talk about? Because he's always been a master of political satire, and he always had a way of tapping into the mainstream and giving it his own twist.
The Tea Party, for sure.
Yeah, that would have been a funny thing. Here's take on the Tea Party. I'd like to hear him talk about fucking Obama's presidency.
Oh yeah, that would have been
shit
great
like
too.
that.
Yeah. I guess it's not really something you really like. Our answers are going to be kind of short. Like this would be cool, you know?
Yeah.
Because we can't really speculate what he would say.
Yeah,
or
it's
his
hard to
reaction.
know. Yeah, I mean, if we were creative enough to know what he would say,
we'd be saying it.
Right.
There you go.
Peasants, what is your opinion on the idea that like we shouldn't donate to diseases and stuff, and we should instead donate to things like poverty, because you like know that the money is
Well,
gonna
you don't donate to diseases themselves.
yeah, I'd like to give AIDS some money, like directly to AIDS.
Now, let me go to this poor
According
African
to
village.
South Park, that is the cure for AIDS.
Yeah, several $100,000 to the cure to AIDS. I mean, you know what he's saying. Like, he's talking about the cancer and
Right.
and all that stuff.
Like, instead of researching diseases, we should just take that money and give food to healthy people? Is that what they're saying?
You know, with charity, you should just make sure the charity is legitimate by researching it, but whatever cause you want to give to, you should just
Right.
give
I
to.
mean, choose your own cause.
Right.
Don't sit there and try to, make other people decide for you what you value.
Yeah, if someone's doing, like, oh, yeah, we're doing this cancer, thing or whatever, or, they're doing it for animals or fucking, whatever, who gives a shit? If it's something you care about, then donate the money to that. Like, you don't have to do it because someone's like, this is morally superior. That's just really an opinion.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, why do you think religious people never want to debate each other over who has the right religion or who has a better religion? They always want to debate.
That's not true. They never debate each other.
I think they do debate each other, but I think at the same time that's kind of a pointless debate. 'Cause I think we already kind of know where their vote is because that's the religion they are. You know, if you really think if you hear about Islam and it just sounds wonderful to you, oh, this sounds great, this sounds wonderful, you're a Muslim. You know, I mean, at least that's what the impression one would get. So I mean, if they do debate amongst one another, I think that these kind of, especially these Abrahamic religions, kind of tend to respect one another. Like, well, you're a Christian and it's good because you believe in something. I think they take a lot more issue with atheism because, like, you don't believe anything. Like, what's wrong with you? How can you walk around and, not want to just kill people or do anything because you don't believe in anything?
Yeah, it's pretty strange. I've always found that really odd when it's like, you just want to be an atheist so you could sin. It's like, what am I really doing that you're not doing?
I guess they just imagine when, you're not around other people, you're just like, killing, baby seals or something,
Yeah.
and plotting the overthrow of, the government.
How did they know that he does that, though?
They just know.
They just know.
Don't even believe in God. Of course he's doing that.
They have the theist sense.
Hello, TJ and Ben and Scotty and a guest if you're there. I'd just like to know what you think of UKIP, the UK Independence Party in Britain. If you already know sort of who they are, just stop here and answer the question. If not, they're a sort of rightist party, more like the Republican Party in Britain than the Democrats. And they want to prioritise parts of the NHS, and they're quite against immigration. They want the...
I would say, just based on your description, that we probably don't like them.
Yeah, I'd say, they don't sound all that cool to me.
They're a lot like Republicans. Stop right there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think privatizing the NHS, which is pretty much ranked as the world's best healthcare system by many metrics, is a good idea. It seems like their system is working. I mean, I'm sure there's flaws in it just like in any other system, but you definitely don't want American-style healthcare in the UK. Trust me on that.
You're anti-patriotic.
Well, the U.S. healthcare system has failed so many people. How can anyone argue for the efficacy of it?
Sean Hannity.
Well, he's a moron. He shouldn't be listened to.
He said we have the best in the world.
Well, we did.
If you're really rich,
muddled it all up.
If you're really rich, then sure. But if you don't fall into that category, then no.
Hello there, drunken peasants. DP.
Hello.
Drunken penetration, if you will. How's it going today? That's great. Just wondering, what's your guys' favorite episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast so far?
This guy seems like he has the demeanor of someone who's going to call in a bomb threat somewhere.
Hey.
I think he was jerking off when I asked that question. Oh, yeah, drunken...
Is there sweat on his face?
Like I said, I rest my case. I think they'll show that people really got interested in the podcast when you guys... Well, it wasn't even much of a show. It was when you guys debated Brett Keane and his posse.
Yeah.
That's why I noticed the first spark from everything where people were like, oh, let's actually watch this fucking show. You know what I mean? Because before it was these fucking losers.
Right.
That was kind of the opinion of us. I remember that. Some people liked us, oh, TJ's awesome or something. We'd be like, but for the most part, it was these fucking losers.
Yeah. Honestly, it's both my favorite and my least favorite. And it's the one where I get totally trashed.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
G-Man!
G-Man! I think my favorite's the one where Ben got drunk too.
Yeah, you think so?
I think that was the from our perspective was the funniest show and the best show. But I think from probably the audiences, I would probably say they're just I would think the Brett Keane things that seemed to be generate the most excitement. Even obviously now we have a lot more viewers, but back then it was the excitement was through the roof basically.
The Thunderfoot one was a good one too.
That was a good one too.
Thunderfoot versus G-Man was pretty great.
That was golden.
Any episode with
Hello,
G-Man
Drunken
has been
Peasants.
kinda special.
Yeah.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I have
you finally found
a
someone
two-part question for you guys.
Less fashionable than you.
Would you like to come
Awesome.
to Australia? And if so, what would you do over here? And that's it. Thank you.
Would we go to Australia, and if so, what would we do there?
I would
go to
fucking
Australia.
go there and beat the shit out of a kangaroo.
Yeah,
I think a kangaroo would probably beat the shit out of you.
No, man.
He'd find one of the little small ones.
Yeah, I'd
the
hit one of the babies.
Find the Joey and
You're
fucking
an
punch
ass.
it.
Fuck you, kangaroo.
I win.
It's okay. I'm gonna drunk first so that it feels productive.
I think it'd be cool to go to Australia, but it's kind of low on my list of places that I want to go to.
It's so low that it's down under.
If I were to go, I'd like to go with like, what is it like? What is that festival they have in Australia? Like Manson and a bunch of like other cool
Big
bands.
Day Out.
It might be at that, yeah. But they have like a really cool like music festival that goes on there. Which like, I mean, I know it's just one, in one city probably, but that'd be cool to check out. I guess you could just go check out,
Apparently, there's a lot of psychotic killers
Really?
around the outback and stuff too.
I don't think I'm gonna go there.
That sounds like fun.
No, but like
it's in the fucking middle of nowhere, dude.
People disappear out there all the time.
But yeah, I agree with Ben. It's kind of low on my list.
But most of them probably just get lost and then die of starvation.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. My question is about abortion and child support. I wanted to know how you guys felt about when people in a relationship come to the decision of abortion and it's a mutual agreement.
Abort all
It's
fetuses.
okay.
Abort
But
them all.
then say that one party wants out of the relationship and that party being the male wants out of the relationship, leaves the relationship, and then the female decides to keep the child. Okay? Then she can claim
Okay.
child support. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Say again, same scenario. There's a couple that's having a kid. The male wants out of the relationship. The female decides out of spite that she's going to get an abortion. Okay? And the dude wanted the kid. There's nothing the dude can do about it, and the lady's free to have an abortion, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, is there a kind of double standard or something there? I don't know if that was a question or a statement. Drunk. It's the Drunken Peasants. Love the show. Good night.
I don't think there's a double standard because men can't really get pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, like
don't think
she's
so.
I mean, like the whole pro-choice argument is basically just like it's her body, her choice.
Yeah, because it's limited to one sex exclusively.
Right. I mean, that it kind of has to be her choice if you fucking believe in like even the most basic equalities for women, because otherwise you're just basically saying like, we're gonna tell you what to do with your own body. It's like, no, it's my body. I'll do what the fuck I want. But of course, the government tells us what to do with our bodies all the fucking time. So.
Oh, of course. Don't do this drug. Like it's like things like DMT or LSD are illegal, but it's like who would they really be harming if they were legal? Some guy would have a fucking acid trip at McDonald's or something. Like, oh no.
Most people who do acid are not going to go to McDonald's.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, like it's like just to your point of like the government telling you what you can and can't do. I mean, like, oh, you can drink alcohol, but if you drive, if you have this much, then it is illegal. If you go here, you can't possess these drugs. Like there's just a million different things the government tells you that you can and can't do.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I was wondering what kind of equipment you use to record the podcast. Webcams, microphones, software, all that shit.
Okay.
It's all recorded on a giant lava lamp.
No, it's a Commodore 64 that we use.
Yeah. The big floppy drive.
Well, we have an Alienware computer, which most people think was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Just standard fucking Logitech webcams. You said it runs OBS, doesn't it?
Yeah, OBS is the broadcasting software that we use.
And what's the soundboard?
This is we have a Pro FX 12-channel mixer.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you
And
want to
just-
start a podcast, get all that shit and you're good.
And a couple monitors. Yep, that's it. And obviously microphones, but
and a mechanical bull that Ben
A
often
mechanical
tries
bull.
to rape.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. Philosophical Snorlax here. I've got 2 questions. A G-rated one and an R-rated one. Alright, the first one. If Hollywood gave you $100 million to make a film, what type of film would you make?
I'd make a
Alright, the second
giant
one.
propaganda piece about how Scotty sucks.
I would make a giant propaganda piece about how I'm awesome.
They could compete at the box
Dude, I would
office.
I would literally like cast myself as like maybe some like Roman emperor / general type or something that saved like humanity from aliens.
And in my version, you'd be a janitor that gets drunk and fondles prepubescent girls in school and then dies of alcoholism.
Well, that's nice.
And they could be two. It could be competing movies to see which one wins.
Yeah, let's see. Ben, what about you?
I would make a movie discrediting both of you. There's another question. An R-rated question.
R-rated question.
The R-rated question. If there was a porno made called The Amazing Atheist XXX porn parody, what type of sex scenes would you have? Thank you.
Oh God.
I don't know. I would probably have sex with the robot that's talking right now.
TJ would probably be in. They probably have a scene where TJ was in the jungle.
be
And
like
he
a-
finds a bunch of bananas and he has sex with a giant monkey with a banana penis.
Okay.
There you go.
I was
Donkey
imagining.
Kong.
I was imagining this fucking robot guy like with a jackhammer penis that was like. "Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do."
We're talking about your real fantasies, TJ. We're talking about shit that makes fun of you.
Okay. But it's all kind of like crosses over though.
Oh man, this question is crazy. Watch this shit. You know what? I'm gonna put it up full screen.
All right.
So people can see it.
Hello there, Drunken Peasants. Greetings from Lithuania. My question to you is, what do you think would be more beneficial to mankind? To unite under one flag, with one government, or to stay as it is now with many diverse cultures and many governments? Oh, whoa, hold on. Holy Whoa. Well,
yeah, I remember when I did
thanks
that.
for saving my life, DJ, and smoke pan every day.
I was so focused on the special effects
Right.
of the video that I didn't actually pay attention to what he was saying.
Some one world government. Yeah, it was the video, not so much the question. The question was like
generic.
Uniting under one world government.
We've already done that anyway.
Right.
I mean, we've already addressed that like a million times.
We all know we're under control of the Illuminati. Come on, guys.
Yep.
The Illuminati is awesome.
We're already united under one world government, a secret Illuminati government,
Yeah, exactly.
controlling everything and making us unintentionally worship Satan through Family Guy.
Yeah, and Disney movies.
Lucky there's a Family Guy.
So you mean worship Satan?
Hey, Drunken Peasants, I have a few questions for you. First off, TJ, what kind of cigarettes do you smoke? And have you tried click cigarettes?
I already smoked the click ones. I don't know. Well, I mean, I smoked the ones that have little packets in them. It's Camel Crush. I get the blue ones.
It was funny because TJ
You know who got me addicted to that
he
shit?
emptied out his cigarette on the table one time, and we kind of looked inside, and like the tobacco looks disgusting. Like tobacco, it's just like this.
That is not
dehydrated-
real tobacco.
I know it looks like so dehydrated. And I'm like, you smoke this and enjoy it. He's like, yeah.
It's not even real. I mean, it sits
Ugh,
around in
it's
so much
garbage.
weird chemicals and shit.
It's fucking garbage. You have
Yeah.
no taste, TJ.
I used to smoke American Spirits.
Yeah, American Spirits.
But, you know, then fucking Chris, the Investigator, visited that one time, and he had those Camel Crushes, and I took a hit of that, and I was like, wow, that's way better.
And what do you guys think of the
I got that little
circumcision
head
ban
rush,
in
too.
Denmark? Thank you.
What was it?
Something about Denmark.
Circumcision ban in Denmark.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
Denmark do what Denmark do.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, from Sweden here. Now, there are two things I want to bring up, and it's connected to gaming and Anita Sarkeesian, based on what she says. Now, in many video games,
great
action
shit.
games and the like
There we go.
Dead Space,
Dead Space.
there's a trope, a
Trope.
very well used trope. It's the male disposability trope. You just line up male characters and just fucking slaughter them. It's like just copy and paste male enemies. And people seem to ignore this trope, and because there's a scantily clad woman in one game, and suddenly all women everywhere are oppressed because of that. But men in thousands and thousands of games just slaughtered, and no one blinks an eye.
What about all those fucking turtles that got hurt in Mario and shit?
It's fucking poor turtles.
No one thinks of the turtles.
No one even thinks of the turtles at all.
The fat ass plumber comes and just steps on them.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's amazing the things that video games get people to accept, because, you know, you got a fucking fat Italian plumber stepping on turtles. In real life, that'd be like animal cruelty case. Watch this crazy Italian plumber stomp on these poor defenseless turtles.
There'd be some guys like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, some dude jerking off somewhere. Oh yeah, step on that fucking turtle, squish
Turtle's
its little
bad.
fucking face off.
It's naughty.
Yeah, step on its head, crush it good.
Damn, she didn't know it was your fetish.
Yeah, very enthusiastic.
But yeah, no, I don't know. The male disposability. I mean, like, I don't really think they're disposable because they're male. I think it's just like that's the idea is like, oh well. That's like the soldier stereotype. That's like the enemy stereotype. Like, men don't typically worry about like being attacked by women, I guess, if they're just like out and about in public.
No.
But, you know, you always worry about like some squirrely dude pulling some shit.
Sure.
So it's probably just like tapping into that. I've noticed that like in movies and shit, most like, even if you're watching like a zombie movie, like the zombies are always even like majority male zombies.
The women were too smart to get bitten, TJ.
There you go. That's one interpretation.
Supposed to bring up both sides. What is the best way to bring up both sides of different tropes? How do we have a good discussion about both?
No,
You don't.
It's impossible.
That's not even something that's going to happen.
Yep.
Why would they? All they're going to say is we're systematically oppressed, so even if there is this in video games, it's irrelevant. That's pretty much the response you're going to get.
Next question.
Sexed question.
Hello again, Drunken Peasants. I got 3 really quick Star Trek questions for you. Number 1, what is your favorite individual episode of any?
Of any Star Trek series.
Yep. My favorite episode is season 2 of The Next Generation, Measure of a Man.
Measure of a Man.
I think TJ's favorite one is anyone that features Wesley prominently.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
I like the one. I like the 2-part one where Picard became a Borg. I like that one. What about you, TJ?
I don't know.
Piece of shit.
It's too much pressure. I can't decide.
Can't decide, man. Sorry.
Show. Question number 2, what do you think is the worst Star Trek show? I know the majority opinion seems to be Voyager.
I don't disagree, or I don't agree with that at all.
I think Enterprise is probably the least favorite show.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say, though, that I do like Enterprise better than Voyager, though.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Voyager, honestly. What about you, TJ?
I like all Star Treks.
My favorite...
I've never seen Enterprise, though. I'm not going to... probably... I mean, I'll be honest with you. Probably the one I'd be least likely to watch is the original, because it's just too fucking campy for me.
The Final Frontier.
I can't take it very seriously. I mean, like, even like the Next Generation and all the stuff that follows, that's campy too, but the original is just to such an extent it's hard to even wrap my mind around. I have to be in a very forgiving mood to watch the original Star Trek.
Yeah, sure.
I think it has redeemable aspects, but it just never really got out of its rut that it was in. Question number 3, what is your favorite Star Trek villain? I know that Star Trek wasn't always really about fighting and all that stuff, which is part of what made it great.
Dukat.
You like Dukat?
Ducat's my favorite villain.
Oh, yeah, he is a good villain.
I like Q.
Q is also a good villain.
I'm gonna go with TJ. I think that does sound like a good villain. I mean, like,
how about Khan?
You know,
I'm gonna go with Dukat over Khan.
Yeah, especially because Khan was, really only in the movie. I mean, he's mentioned in the show a few times.
He was in.
He was in an episode of the original series.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's where he came from. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, he made more of a mark in the Star Trek 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and in, I guess, Into Darkness, where he was
the villain again.
Yeah.
Not a fan. All right, next one.
Hi, Drunken Peasants. I was wondering what your
Think you're
opinion
so
on
cool being upside
censorship
down.
is. Like, how far do you think censorship should go? What do you think should be censored? What do you think shouldn't
They
be?
should censor this video. It's filth.
It's filth.
I'm offended.
Women are not meant to be viewed from this angle.
Exactly.
Ah!
I think we need to censor everyone and everything at all times.
I think we should leave censorship up to the individuals, like the parents. They should control what their family can and can't watch.
advocates children watching pornography. What about you, TJ?
I don't believe in censorship, really.
TJ also is of the opinion that children should watch pornography. Both TJ and Ben are disgusting individuals that want to destroy children.
Vote for Scotty.
Vote for Scotty. I'm Scotty, and I approve this message.
And that's pretty much just my main question. I'm really anti-censorship.
You're wrong. Censor everything.
That's just my opinion. I'm not going to go greatly into it, and that's it. Smoke pan every day.
You're upside down.
I seriously believe we should just censor everyone at all times.
Censor everyone and everything at all times.
Like I like to bleep TJ constantly. TJ talking in the show, be like,
I don't think anything should be censored by, like how we have the FCC. I don't think there should be a governing body like that would censor things. I think people can censor, like if parents don't want their children to watch a certain thing, they can have parental controls to limit that kind of shit.
The FCC needs to spend its time reclassifying broadband as a utility, not on censoring people or this woman's breast was shown on television.
You know what the stupid thing about it is like no one even really agrees what their children should be allowed to see anyway.
No, of course not.
Because I mean, like, you see some of these crazy Christians out there saying like, "Oh, well, this children's cartoon is satanic and the Teletubby is gay and
all this
Winnie the
nonsense.
Pooh is a hermaphrodite."
Yeah. Oh, no, bullshit.
And it's like, oh my god, and so how do you even decide what should be censored when you have these people who just think that even the most innocuous forms of entertainment are so subversive and dangerous to children?
Sometimes there's censorship according to what sponsors want and don't want
Oh, sure.
being aired.
Don't show Coke in any of the scenes in the movie. Yeah, of course. Product placement and what these corporations want. I mean, that does really affect it because your sponsors affect the ability to show most of these programs for free. That's why you have to pay for cable. That's why, if you watch football or whatever major event, there has to be a bunch of ads.
Right. All right, next.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. What do you want for Christmas?
Drugs.
Also drugs.
Ben? Look at it, Ben. It's like, okay.
Ben wants to sigh deeply.
Right.
It's a sigh deeply.
Yeah. That question triggers my anxiety.
Do you guys even really still? I mean,
I don't get shit for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't get much for Christmas or because and when you're an adult,
I get one thing.
When you're an adult, you kind of just buy shit for yourself anyways, right?
Yep. All right.
Fuck Crimbeth.
Hello, Drunken Peasants. I'm going to get this out of the way.
Out of the way.
First question. Do
Go
you
on.
guys have a favorite energy drink of some sort?
Do we have a favorite energy drink?
Nope, don't drink energy drinks.
I will very occasionally have a Rojo tea from Monster. But that's like...
You want Monster Extreme Energy!
That's on the rarest of rare occasions. I probably not even once a month.
I used to drink the sugar-free Rock Stars back in the day.
I remember people used to drink balls. You remember that?
Balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that
I
shit.
remember the gaming thing. Man, I'm gonna fucking game all night. Drink balls.
Drink
man."
about.
Yeah.
Monster and shit. Personally, my favorite energy drinks. Monster and Venom. Those are just the best to me, but what do you guys think? Number 2. This is sort of relating to a comment on the last podcast that has sort of caused controversy because I was trying to mess around with people, get their reactions. No one believes me, but whatever. But what do you think of preteens and teenagers who smoke marijuana? Like, it doesn't even have to be preteens, it could be 13 and upward. But what is your opinion on that? Because I know you guys do smoke, but
allegedly. What do you guys think?
I didn't
pregnant pause.
I didn't smoke until I was already well into my 20s, past most of my 20s already when I started smoking.
But do you think it's okay for someone at 13 to smoke?
I don't know because I was never 13. I knew people when I was 13 who smoked.
Right.
I think it's probably not a great idea, but
it happens
Yeah.
whether we approve of it or not. But I don't really think that 13 is really a good age to
Right.
start with that.
Like if it were legalized, I think we can all agree that the age to legally buy it should not be
13.
13.
No.
probably 18.
I would say 18, but if it happens in the U.S., it's probably going to be 21.
It has been 21 in every state.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think 18 would probably be more appropriate, but it's not like teenagers are going to ever have trouble getting a hold of weed. So
No, not
I
at
think
all.
it would be harder though after
if it was legalized and regulated.
Right.
Well, yeah, because the underground industries that support it now.
Yeah, you don't see 16-year-olds going out trying to buy beer from the underground bootlegger because they can't. Because no one does that shit.
Go to the foothills. Ask for some
except for
moonshine.
someone who's trying to make their own craft beer at home.
Yeah,
I've known people that do that, but they're not on the street corner selling it to
Yeah,
teenagers.
hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
And that's what would eventually happen.
You want to buy some beer? Well, what is it? I made it myself.
Just find some Asian people they'll have a liquor store. They'll pretty much just sell you anything. I mean, it's true.
I have two questions for you today. My first one is, what do you think your favorite movie of 2014 is?
Favorite movie of 2014.
Didn't we already get asked this? I don't know.
Well, this is now the last month of 2014.
Yeah.
I'm going to withhold that because there's so many movies I still want to see that just came out in the last month.
I have
that
to agree
haven't
with you
seen
on
yet.
that. Yeah, because me and you were planning on seeing a bunch of movies, but we keep getting distracted.
Sidetracked by bullshit.
Yep.
I honestly think it was Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a wonderful movie, but that's just my opinion.
did really enjoy
And my
Guardians
second
of the
question is, do you have any thoughts on Sublime? For me, they're one of my favorite bands.
Not particularly.
I don't dislike Sublime,
Yeah,
but I would
just-
never go out of my way to listen to it.
Yeah, that's much how I feel.
Yeah, I was never a huge fan of Sublime. They had a few more punk sounding songs that I liked, but I thought they were all right. Not my least favorite.
Yeah, it's not like some shit where it's I
hate them or I love them.
Nickelback comes on,
Right.
and you're like, fuck this.
Oh yeah, Nickelback comes on. TJ's like, turn that shit up.
Off, maybe.
Nah, TJ. we know
Drunken
what you
Peasants, Dark Fool. How you doing, man?
Scotty, you need a hat
My
like
question
that.
today. I saw
Fuck you,
TJ,
TJ.
on a couple of posts post this picture, Asmodeus, the symbol of Asmodeus, and it made me think of a couple of good questions. 3 really quick questions. Number 1, do you guys think there's anything to the occult or
No.
No.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, to believe in the occult, that would mean that we believe in supernatural shit.
Yeah, which we clearly do not.
No, we're a bunch of fucking skeptics. I mean, obviously we're all open to believing in anything that can be proven. But, I mean, something that's been around as long as occult practices and teachings that still has no actual verifiable evidence behind it is just kind of like a joke to us at this point.
is it a bunch of gobbledygook? At least even on a psychological level. Number
Well,
2,
I guess on a psychological level, you could say that maybe it has a placebo effect for
Right.
people. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
if you're just in it for the ritual and you're just you like the feeling of the experience emotionally or whatever, then I guess that really no one could have any possible objection to that. But if you believe you're actually tapping into fucking some dark and ancient source of fucking power,
Yeah, you're deluding yourself.
not necessarily dark, I guess, but just, these power sources that can somehow be wielded by human beings.
what are you guys' thoughts on mythology in general? And number 3,
mythology. I think all religions are mythology.
Right. I mean, I appreciate mythology. I think it's an interesting part of the past, and a lot of myths are still, the stories that were created in ancient myths are still being used today with just slight variations.
Yeah, kind of made more modern. Like at first, like the stories, might be more like to the sensibilities of the countries they originated from. So of course, yeah. But mythology is interesting. It kind of like you said, it kind of gives you a gateway to the past. You kind of see what the you kind of see the moral structure of people, because most of these stories have like some kind of moral tale like weaved into it. Whatever. What the fuck are y'all doing?
People were. People in the chat room were saying, "TJ, stop masturbating." He's sitting there like this, shaking his arm. He's jerking off. I look back and he's all like,
"That's awesome."
Oh, fuck. Let's move on. We got two more.
Mythology.
Actually, I think he had one more. Let's see.
How would you guys feel if a new mythology were created that incorporated our current understanding of science, technology, etc.?
That's already happening, though. I mean, it might not be like the way we mythologize our science, like in movies and books and whatever else, video games, is not necessarily accurate to science, but we are mythologizing our science. I mean, that's the whole nature of what mythologizing is like, we have all this advanced technology now, so it makes sense for Tony Stark to have this badass fucking Iron Man suit that can shoot missiles and fly and all this crazy shit.
Even Scientology has like pseudoscience and like mythology together with it.
Yeah.
Like the E-meters and shit like that.
Or the Mormons. That's another recent one.
Yeah.
Okay, the audio was messed up the last time I tried doing this. 3 questions. TJ.
A lot of
I love the
3
douchebag
questions.
Bible. I have the digital copy. Hopefully getting the physical copy soon. Is there any reason why the physical copy is not available on Amazon? I know you like to personalize each edition of the book, but for people that for some reason don't want your majestic writing in their copy, it might be an easier way for them to buy it.
Fuck you, bitch. I sell what I want to sell.
And is there any plans to write another book in the near future?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, TJ's actually working on a new book.
I'm working on a new book. I'm not sure what it's going to be called yet. I was thinking about... I had a title I came up with yesterday, but I'm not sure if it'll actually end up fitting the book.
It's actually about penguins.
No, I was going to say, that's enough exercise, time to smoke. Because I actually had that as a thought the other day.
Share that. And is there any specific topic or any topics running through your head? Like maybe
it's going to be like all my other books where it's just going to be all over the fucking place with no focus.
Never know. Erotica? I don't know. Or... and for all 3 of you here, I got this today. I didn't get this today. I'm lying. I've had this and I really wanted to show it. Do you think if Daniel Bryan does return to the WWE and he's inevitably booked for the title against Brock Lesnar, if he still has it at that point, do you think it's the best decision for Bryan to win? Because, I mean, if you think about it, Lesnar has had an amazing year for his career. He decimated the Big Show at the Royal Rumble, took the streak, kicked John Cena's ass twice, which I personally loved. But he's built up so much, like, there's no one in the company that can really fight him. Do you think Bryan should be the man to take the title off of him?
Yeah. I think...
And that's it.
Daniel Bryan pretty much plays off of, like, I'm the perpetual underdog. Even when I'm champion, I'm the underdog. So I think that having him be the one to beat Lesnar just makes sense, because Lesnar is like the exact opposite. We're like, he's unbeatable. So
I might disagree and think I think Cena should really beat Lesnar.
Cena. Ben loves Cena.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Ben, do you have make-out fantasies about John Cena?
Can't see me, Ben.
All the time.
When Cena says you can't see me, I always wish that was true.
Yeah.
It's like, if only.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. I'm sure you guys don't believe in paranormal stuff. However, if you were to spend time in a so-called haunted location, Would you feel scared or uneasy at all? If so, why?
Probably.
It's really a stupid question. It's like, what is your emotional response to the situation? Ha ha ha. It's like, okay, people can feel scared even if there's no rational cause. It's not really
Right, I mean,
valid
like,
question.
if you fucking sit someone in a room, it's like a dark room, and tell them a bunch of scary shit, like, yes, there's been a lot of murders in this old house, let me tell you what, dating back 150 years.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, man, what's going on?
And they go through this long series of spooky-ass events that have happened in this one house, and then you're fucking just sitting there in a dark room. Of course you're going to be fucking like, what the fuck, I'm scared now.
Yeah, anxiety is a human emotion, you know.
You know, and it doesn't lend any credence to the rationality of those claims.
No.
Like, ghosts, monsters. Scary monsters.
So I think we're going to wrap it up now.
Okie dokie.
The show is over. All
We'll
right,
see you
well,
guys on
if you
Wednesday.
guys, we'll see you on Wednesday. Maybe we'll have the Vigilant Christian, maybe not. We don't know yet.
Be sure to...
Wrong way.
What the hell? Be sure to smoke pan every day.
Be sure to donate to the Drunken Peasants at patreon.com/DP or go to audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants.
Subscribe to TJ or die.
And be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. We're out for the evening. Goodbye.